being held here at Curl Moncton. My name is Arnold Mallais, and I'm accompanied by Mickey Maswell for this afternoon's broadcast. Mickey?
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to this game. It's been very exciting so far the whole weekend, and we've seen some very nice curling from both of these teams. And actually, Mallais beat Robichaud in the round robin.
In the round robin.
That was the only loss to Robichaud. And
it should make for a very interesting match, as you say, Mickey. And
yes.
Interestingly enough, as the end of the round robin took place, the seeding resembled exactly the standings of the end of the round robin.
Yeah, exactly.
Through from 1 to 6.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The telecast today is being brought to you by 5 TV1 Bell Alliance, and we thank them for their cooperation. And certainly, this is going to be one of the first times that I think the Scotties has been promoted not only on 5 TV1, but also on the television of Bell Alliance, Community One. So we thank them for arranging that for us as well.
Just a quick intro to the teams. Sarah Mallais is the skip, of course, and Carol Whitaker, the third stone for Sarah, and Leah Thompson, the second stone, and Jane Boyle for the first stone.
Yes, and on the Robichaud squad, we have Sylvie Robichaud playing skip, Melissa Adams as mate, Nicole Arsenault-Bishop as second, and Kendra Lister as lead. And it looks like we're getting ready to start, Mickey, with Sarah having Jane Boyle throw the first rock as Sylvie has hammer in this first end.
I believe the hammer was decided by ranking, how they finished the round robin, and Sylvie finished with the 4-1 record. So.
And by doing that, she gets color, the hammer, and she was able to request rocks from any of the 3 sheets.
But I don't think our rocks there have been a problem. I haven't heard any bad news or anything about bad rocks. And
no, for sure.
And our rocks are fairly new. I was updated by Joan Reed. I said they were 2 years old, but they're actually, we got them in March just before the Under-18 finals last year in 2017. And we've had them since, so they're a year old. Not quite, but...
Yes, that U18 was the first national Under-18 boys and girls event to take place, and it took place here in Moncton, between Curl Moncton and the Superior Propane Center, and it went off very, very well. We were both involved in that. Speaking about involvement, these events don't take place without the support of our community-minded companies such as Kruger Products, who have been long associated with the Scotties tournament events.
Yes, I think it's 37 years.
Correct. And locally we have Bob Lee Productions, Kevin R. Williams, Sun Life Financials, Deloitte Uni, Shoppers Drug Mart, Atlantic Superstore, TD, Kirkwood Diamond, and KKP. We certainly thank them for their support.
A lot of things couldn't happen without sponsors.
And the next thing that I'm going to say as we see the first end unroll is obviously you need the players to play the event, but we need our volunteers. We have about 11 people on our host committee, and that spans out to about 25 or 30 volunteers. So we thank them for continually contribute to this event. All right, so Jane just came a little... I don't know if it was light, Mickey, or just...
It curls really coming around there, and it could be just reading the ice. But right now it's advantage Sylvie. She has 2 corner guards, so... And one blue one and a button.
So Kendra will be asked to come in and go behind the
yellow guard there.
Yep.
See if the Robichaud team can make Mallais pay for their error, and it's all about what happens on the ice. And the other team makes an error, you gotta jump on it.
Her weight seems pretty good. Don't know if that'll make the rings, Mickey. So missed opportunity there for sure.
Exactly. You might see Nicole second stone for Robichaud. Not do very much sweeping. I guess she took a bug last night. Had a bit of a rough night, but I'm sure she didn't want to miss this.
Okay. So Liam is being asked to remove the shot rock on the button. Jane is applying some sweeping, and she's going to get the hit and a little bit of a roll. So,
Yep.
Well done. Yeah, that's unfortunate to make it through the round robin and then end up with not feeling quite up to par. But we'll hope that Nicole can persist and work through this game.
I think she'll do fine.
All right, so
Yeah,
the first of Nicole
she's being asked
Arsenal
to
Bishop's rocks. Yep.
hit and then possibly get a roll behind that corner guard, yellow on the left rather.
They're brushing it. Finishes hard there, making it and it has been all week.
All
so
week.
It's great.
The ice has been very consistent. Kudos to the ice crew, Chris Tapley, and the crew are doing a very, very fine job. Speed's good, it's curling.
Yeah, Chris Tapley is the provincial ice technician for Curl, New Brunswick, and he ensures that the ice at these events are in tip-top shape, and then he resorts to local volunteers to help him with that as well.
Again, missed by. I don't know if she hasn't read the ice right.
Well, that was the first out. It's actually an intern for Leah. She's a left-handed, so.
Yeah, of course they had weight, so they might have wanted to. I thought they were going after the shot rock, but.
That would be a default, I would say, a default shot.
Yeah.
So Sylvia again requesting for Nicole to go behind the corner guard set up on the 4-foot line. They're rushing this pretty much out of her hand. Up now. And this is where we'll get that strong finish.
Exactly, just from about 4 or 5 feet out from the hog line. And
very nicely done.
Beautiful. Good weight. She's been carrying very well all weekend. And
yeah, and when we talk about volunteers, Mickey, too, with the 3 games that were taking place at every draw during the round robin, we have timers up here, we have the broadcasters, of course, we have statisticians, we have the live score person, and of course we have our TV1 cameraman as well. So it's really a group effort as far as the volunteer network.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that.
Now they're going for a takeout, and look at that rock go. It's been like this all week. All the games that I've watched on the ice, it's right there. It's been very curling.
You cannot underthrow them. Huh?
No, exactly. And the inside out, the outturn from center out, curls much less than that one. That one, and that was a takeout weight. So.
Yep. I didn't see where she came out, Mickey, but it might have been down just a bit.
Could have been, but they've been throwing a good control weight takeouts. The heavy weights have not been seen too often.
No, and I'll tell you, in the games that I've witnessed up here, if the heavyweight did come into play, a lot of them went right by the stone that they were intended to
exactly,
hit. So.
Yeah.
So now Sylvia's asked Melissa to go to the open wing, which she has done nicely.
Yeah.
Just behind the tee line.
A little deep, but could be. Sarah's asking Carol to take that center one out again. She's going with the other turn this time.
She's changed the turn, Mickey, so we'll see how that reacts.
It's a little less curling on this turn, and the roll and the double is possible. But she probably wants to take that one out first, and the double will be a bonus.
They're not laying a brush to it. It's starting to move now, so here we go.
Here we go.
Actually, got some movement on that side, too.
Exactly, yeah. That was a good, strong takeout weight by Carol, and got the job done, but it's quite open, so...
Mickey, some of the team sponsors for Team Robichaud, Papa John's Pizza, McClure Toyota, and Hardline. And we thank them for their support of the curling teams. McClure Toyota is another one, as well as Ice Pad.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking at Team Mallais. They don't have any sponsors for their team, but
I guess the husbands and
yeah.
right. But,
Husbands, dads, grandpa.
all right, so Melissa successfully took out the shot rock, and Robichaud is now lying 4. So
Yeah,
Sarah's got her work cut out for her here.
She needs a roll here somewhere, and
She's taking the similar turn that she had given Carol.
a little bit more ice too.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think actually when Melissa made contact, Mickey, it did come a little more
little
closer
bit,
to
yeah.
the center line, right? So,
yeah,
all right, let's see how it performs here.
yeah. Let's see if we can get a time on it. See if they're throwing the takeout weight or the control takeout. Hard to tell from up here what speed the rock is going on.
The players are certainly indicating that the ice has been consistent through the week, and I know I spoke with Chris Tapley a few times, and he is happy with how their ability to maintain the proper temperature.
Exactly, yeah.
They're off and on it, so that's usually a good sign.
Looks pretty good for a nice roll here. I didn't get the time on it.
So Sarah's on the, I think she's just touching the 4 foot
That's
behind
going to
cover.
be a hard, although it curls quite a bit going that way. But that was a great shot by Mallais to get them out of a little jam here.
Interesting how that works, eh, Mickey? There was lots of rocks in play, and
Exactly,
one shot can, yep.
Yeah, it's totally opposite from what I've been watching the first end. All the games that I did up here as a commentator, they were keeping it clean.
You're absolutely
You know,
right.
they're out there learning the ice and
right into the second end as a rule.
exactly, and there wasn't very much attacking until this game here is totally opposite.
Yep. So Sylvia in her first rock, I think Melissa's broom is to indicate to try to take some of that those corner guards away.
Exactly.
And give Sylvia an opportunity to get to the shot rock, or at least
Have a chance at it.
Yeah.
It's well guarded right now, so.
So this is the first of Sylvia Robichaud's skips rocks in the first end, and they jumped on that right away.
You can see the nice curl. She wants to roll, so or really get the double.
And
She got it. It opened that yellow one up in the back. But
the shooter remained for a corner guard.
Yeah.
Now it's question for Sarah. Do you come in and lie second rock, or do you guard it up? And they're having that discussion right now.
Right, and the risk of going in deep to be second stone would on the other side maybe a good idea.
That's what they're indicating.
That's okay.
And she can err on the side. She really doesn't have to freeze on that, right? If she's T-line, there's no double possibility. So
Exactly.
She's line 2 and
anywhere's even to. It gives Sylvia. Sylvia's got the draw.
right.
But
the force would be on to
absolutely
for Sylvia
force
to take her
one.
one.
Yeah. Yep. And when you don't have hammer, that's what you want to do with the other team is force them to one, and that last shot really made it possible for Mallais to force Robichaud to one.
So the last of Sarah's rocks here in the first end, not having hammer, so they certainly want a T-line, or they want to count number 2.
Exactly.
They've got a variety of places where it can
2.
finish up. Yeah.
And
they're brushing that all the way,
all the way, yeah.
The ice has been fairly keen for the duration of the week, so we're not expecting anything different
Got
today.
to bring this in to be number 2, and I think they've got it. It looks good. Yeah.
That has a nice finish too, Mickey. It
Beautiful.
went all the way to the other 4 foot line. So now Sylvie has a choice. She can hit and stay, and that's just fine. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
It would be my comfort zone. Would be to hit it for sure.
Especially in the first end.
Absolutely.
And she has not thrown a draw. Well, they did practice. The teams are allowed. I think it's 10 minutes before the game to practice. So.
Yep.
And at the start of this tournament, the teams were here Thursday morning, and that was the first order of business. The top 3 seeds had practice, were able to practice on each of the sheets for 10 minutes. So a 30-minute practice, and then they had the team meeting, and then the second grouping of 3 completed their practices, and the first draw was on Thursday at 1
It's
o'clock.
pretty standard for all the provincials, and that a day prior to the start of the mornings are usually a practice rounds, and
So Sylvie's delivering her last rock of this, the first end, and they were on it initially just
this
to keep it
usually
straight.
curls a lot, so
She had nice
you got to
weight.
watch the jam here. Well,
Now, they,
this could be quite a turn of
I
event here.
would say that was a sweeping error, if anything.
Yeah.
Because she certainly had a nice weight. She was
Yes.
down the line, but
Yep.
you're right. Just underestimated the amount of curl
Yeah,
there.
the
again.
curl, yep.
So steal a one for Team Mallais here in the first end, and that's very familiar too. I think more with the ladies' teams and the men's teams, where they group at the hog line and have a recap
Oh,
of
absolutely.
what just took place
Absolutely.
and what they'd like to accomplish in the next end. So
Yeah.
that's very common.
As a coach of the junior team, we encourage our teams to do the same thing.
Okay.
The boys and the girls.
So it's not a male-female thing.
No. It's a curling thing. It's
Right on.
make sure everybody's on the same page and thinking the same way. And you can plan something, but there's always the aspect of the other team
For sure.
not cooperating with your plans. But
Yep.
so you got to be flexible. You got to have a game plan.
Yep.
But you got to be flexible and react to what's going on.
And try to execute, right?
Yeah.
So Jane is being asked to.
Go right in.
I think Sarah had indicated to come into the ring. So.
Yeah. A little different from the first end,
And that is sliding like we've seen most of the week.
yeah,
That may be through, actually.
not quite.
Just on. And, of course, Sylvie is asking for a corner guard of
Yep.
Kendra.
That rock there, I wouldn't be thinking too much about it right now. It's way back there, and
For sure.
if she wants to score two, the way to do it with hammer is the corner guard. So.
As we said earlier, the ice from all the participants and has performed very, very well. And kudos to Chris Tapley and his crew for doing a great job. I might mention too that the draw that we had for the week was done up by MBCA's draw master Ben Smith, and it was a bit of a challenge when you have 6 teams, playing on 3 sheets of ice, and trying to ensure that no back-to-back games take place on the same ice. So he was very successful in pulling that off.
So Carol taking Sarah's place there has asked Jane to remove this blue rock, and did so very well. Brings it to the center. I'm sure Sylvie's going to deal with this one for sure.
Yeah, the corner guard, I suppose they could still go and throw it up, but you'd want to deal with this, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I was in the house, so it wasn't really a guard. So.
Right. And we are playing with the four rock rule, Mickey, so
Yep.
which I understand someone was indicating maybe moving to the 5 rock rule.
Yes, exactly. We've seen it on TV
Yes.
in the slams, and
Right.
so Kendra's being asked to take this out by.
There's that weight we were talking
yeah,
about, Mickey.
there's that.
Just a little extra, and it just sits. And it's not
So
a function of the ice doing anything. That's just a little overthrown.
Exactly. Yeah. See, if you're throwing normal weight, for my choice on this fast ice, a control weight would be very good. A better chance for your rock to roll and stay in place someplace.
And Mickey, we had said too that this is as keen as it is. It's good sweeping ice. So if you leave it to
Exactly.
the sweepers, they can
Yeah.
really do a nice job.
Exactly, yeah.
So Lee is
So
asked
Leah's-
to put one at the top of the house.
Yep. Again, sweepers aren't touching it, and the worst thing a thrower wants to see is quite a swing to it too.
Lots of movement on that, Mickey. That was
Absolutely.
T-line weight or a little better.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little better, yeah. Back 4 weight.
So in the round robin, Sylvia Robichaud, of course, was successful with the 4-1 record.
4-1, yep.
Then we had Jennifer Armstrong come in at 3-2. Sarah Mallais was 3-2, and Justin Como was 3-2. So there was a tiebreaker between Mallais and Como, which Mallais was the winner to determine
Good shot here. Could have got the
who
two.
would play in the semifinal, and it was a rematch actually of Como and Mallais, and that took place this morning at 9 o'clock, and hence we have Mallais and Sylvie Robichaud in the finals. Brought to you here at Curl Moncton, and as we said, we're live streaming TV1, and for one of the first times that the Scotties been done, Bella Line are also having television coverage as well of this final game.
It's wonderful to get these people all involved in curling and showing it and putting it out in the barn. Leah looked a little heavy on this one.
Well, that's tracking. That's right in the sliding path too, Mickey.
Exactly,
So I think that one
just
out. Yep.
Just a little long. Sylvie's opting to go in instead of putting a corner guard. And let's see how Nicole fares with this shot.
Nicole is her home club is Curl Moncton, of course, and she's been curling for 26 years. And has had some success as well at the junior champs. A lot of these curlers, I was looking at the bios, Mickey, of all of the teams, and boy, for the most part, I don't want to say all 6 teams, but for the most part, the participants have come up to the junior ranks, so it's really nice to see.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have a pretty good junior program in New Brunswick, so kudos to them, and the Little Rock program is very strong now.
Yes, and if anyone has come down handy the Curl Moncton facility, you'd notice on Lockhart Avenue that there's an expansion taking place. The intent is to build 5 additional sheets. And Mickey, I can honestly say that's not for our generation. It's
I'm going to enjoy it though, as much as I can.
It's for the Little Rocks, and
exactly.
The Center of Curling Excellence does an excellent job of their training programs through the summer months, which you've been involved in.
Yes,
and it's really, really grown over the years.
So Carol has taken that boat rocks, cleaned the house right out. So typical of usually the first ends, but the first ends we saw, Mallais still won, and there was a lot of rocks in play.
Correct. All right, so Melissa's being asked to place I didn't see where Sylvie's broom was, but asking to come into the house. Yeah, she's indicating now T-line. Yep.
Come into the house and look for an error or miss from Mallais, but
we're getting some early movement on that.
Exactly.
Sylvie's come out to help, and Kendra has it underhand though.
Yeah, as we can
T-line
see,
weight.
Nicole is probably still feeling the effect of that
bug, eh?
Bug and sweeping. She's probably going to conserve herself.
And she'll jump in if needed.
Oh,
yes,
for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Now Carol's asked to remove this one. And we'll see what kind of movement we have.
Mickey, right there, it tends to stay pretty good, and they're on and off it, so she has nice weight. There's that control weight you were speaking to. So
they're throwing like a 9 seconds, so that's a takeout weight.
Yeah. So pretty, as you said, pretty well wide open. We were watching games earlier this week, and all 3 sheets, this was kind of the scenario for the first couple of ends that we had seen.
Exactly. It's a learning process, and also a little bit of respect for the other team. And sometimes if you can junk it up, and then one shot makes a big difference, as we saw in the first end. Sarah Mallais came out with that her first shot, that hit and roll, that changed the whole end around. So.
Correct. All right, so
it looks like a nice
Melissa,
hit there.
Melissa, just nice control weight.
Yep.
And as we mentioned earlier on, Kruger has been a long-time sponsor, Kruger Products, of these Scotties events, both nationally and provincially, and we certainly they are to be commended for their support. We really appreciate it.
They're doing a fine job for sure. It's been a long time, like I say, it's 37 years. So.
Yeah. All right, so the first of Sarah's rocks here in the second end. The removal of the shot stone, the only stone actually.
Absolutely.
So Carol asked them to jump on that, which they did, and
Yep.
and as I said, they're kind of sweeper's ice. That they held that very nicely. She has
Absolutely.
nice weight, and
Yeah. They're not taking a ton of ice, but that speed, you don't need a lot of ice.
no. And we were saying earlier too, Mickey, that communication. If the sweepers can communicate to the person standing in the house, whether it's the mate or the skip,
Exactly.
that it might be up or down,
Oh, yeah.
it lends a lot of support and help to determining whether you do brush it or not.
It's good teamwork. Communication is a big part of the game, and
I suppose you emphasize that a one with your
absolutely.
with your
kids. Yeah. More information that people get, you're the one in the house or the one sweeping. It's very important.
I'd like to give a shout out to our juniors too, who have been sitting. You'll notice them out there on the
Yes.
behind sheet 10 there, sitting there, and they're actually doing the scoreboards for
Exactly.
us, and have been all week, which is great.
Yep.
Older curlers tend to not want to put up the score as promptly as we'd like to see it, so having the juniors there ensures that everyone knows what the score is. It's been great.
Yes, our older curlers like us, we like to volunteer inside someplace where it's nice and warm.
Speaking of which, Lawrence Ford, Forbes, the head umpire, has pretty well sits out there most of the game, and he has a few. I think he said no less than 5 layers of clothing
Yes.
on. It's not breezy out there, but it's certainly cold.
Yes, it is, and we're normally there's 3 games going on, a lot of bodies out there, and it's but since the tiebreakers and the semifinal and now this game, there's only one team on the ice, and it's about 10 people, maybe 12,
Yeah.
with the
TV.
television crew and the official and the scorers and the players.
And
Not a
Sarah-
lot of body heat going on there.
Sarah might have just overthrown that a little bit,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
tracked pretty much. The sweepers weren't on it, and so that gives Sylvie kind of an open opportunity to blank this in.
And along with that, she's picking her out turn, I think. No, she's throwing the in turn. But it's a learning rock.
Yeah, not to throw it away so much as try to learn
Exactly.
something from this particular
Exactly.
song. Yeah.
So she went through her whole delivery. She did throw the out turn.
Yep.
And they'll
All
watch
right.
it. They'll watch it very closely, see how it reacts, and that's a good takeout weight for sure.
So after 2 ends of play, it remains Mallais 1 over Robichaud, and Robichaud will have hammer in the third end. The telecast is being broadcast here at Curl Moncton in Lockhart, the corner of Lockhart and Essex Streets. You can certainly see the presentation or the televised game on TV1. It is also being televised on Bell Alliant TV1 Live. And of course, if you so choose, you can come down to Curl Moncton and see the game live as well.
Jane started the third end with a draw to the 4-foot, or
Yep.
they want to see what Sylvie's going to do, and
So this
good draw.
this tournament started as a five game round robin, 6 teams in competing. Everyone plays each other. The best record finishes in first, which was Sylvie Robichaud, and she went on to this particular final, while the others played it out to see the second and third place and the semifinal game. And of course, they're doing all this to play in the Nationals, which will take place further this month, January 27th to February 4th in South Okanagan Event Center in Penticton, BC.
that'd be a wonderful trip. Wonder if they want some commentators.
Yeah, that might be a plan.
I think Sarah's asked Jane to bump that one up. get it closer to the button.
I just heard my phone beep, Mickey. So I'm going to, Jeremy, be proud. I'm going to turn that sucker off. There we go. The ice shed temperature we were talking about, Lawrence Forbes having to sit out there. It's about 41 to 42 degrees. That's Fahrenheit, is it, Mike?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
We didn't get a bump, but we got a freeze. It looks pretty tight. Hard to take out. So
probably a little further than she was hoping, but nonetheless, it's not going to be easy to take out.
Bump, so it didn't quite bump it. So.
Okay. And when it's very important with this. We have Brian Rice doing the stats here in this final game, and of course, unlike us who sometimes don't see what the call was, it's very important for Brian to know what the call was,
exactly.
and if the player executed it properly, then you're scored
exactly.
appropriately. There are 4 points for every shot, and the degree to which you've completed that is what you're scored on.
All right. So Sarah's ignoring what's in the house and asking Leah to remove that corner guard.
And we'll be giving you updates on the players and the teams throughout, probably in the third or fourth end, and then after the fifth end break, and then a little further on to see how. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the percentages, but the score and the scoreboard that
exactly.
are going to count. And
my thought there was a lot of ice, but just throwing a takeout way, but it didn't.
It didn't move.
Quite curl the way that they wanted to.
So missed opportunity there. Sylvie's going to make use of that cornerstone.
That's why you put it up there when you got the hammer. If it's there, use it. And so has had her draw away pretty good so far this game.
Sweepers are following it down. They haven't laid a brush to it as yet.
You say as a thrower, you don't want to see this. You want to see them at least. Cleaning it, or it looks a little heavy.
Just a little heavy, and this ice is keen, so yep. So again, missed opportunity.
We'll try this again.
Yep.
Let's see.
It's just pretty much the same.
Ice.
Pretty much the same ice.
Yeah, just a couple inches less, and we'll see what the weight is. And
so I think Leah would know that if the ice hasn't changed too much, then maybe she'll give Sarah just a little less weight.
Yeah. So Leah's, I think, the only left-hander out there, but I think he's getting this one.
It may be more of a replacement, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. A roll to the center would have been ideal, but...
Okay, it's still a corner guard.
Exactly, yeah, and Sylvie's going to try and take advantage of that again.
Right.
So let's see if Nicole can adjust to her weight a little bit. She's not taking as much ice as if they were throwing the outturn.
No, and that's been
it curls,
consistent.
but it's there's no big dive at the end there by the rock, so it'll curl nicely, but it'll be more steady.
It'll finish once it gets in the house, Mickey, and they're off it now and letting it start. Here we go. There we go. Yep, nice weight. T-line weight, and it's going to be pretty much buried.
Top 8, yeah. Wonderful.
Yep.
She adjusted very well from her first stone. And
it looks like it's still visible to Carol's.
It looks like they see half of it.
This is the first of Carol Whitaker's rocks here in the third end. So once again, Mickey, I mean, obviously the first point of order is to take the stone out, but if you happen to get a half a stone, you could get a nice roll.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's all about weight. It looks like a control weight.
Once again, they're not brushing it.
No, and
we're getting some movement now.
They think they want it, and the brushers might say, yeah, I want to sweep it. Ooh. It's on the nose. Didn't quite get the roll, but...
No, and they just brushed that guard.
They weren't sweeping it. So.
I think that surprised them a little bit.
It might have, because it hasn't been curling, especially with weight there.
No.
Not like it does the other way.
Yep.
But it's been like that all week. So once you learn it,
And I think it becomes a question too, certainly when you're going to the in-turn to the right-hand side, is believe that it will move. You know?
exactly. You got to believe it. You got to accept it and say, oh, we've seen it before. We're going to do it again. And
Correct. All right. So Melissa Adams is being asked to remove the shot stone. And they're beating on this quite hard.
It looks like it's a little light.
There's the move.
Oh,
Just
no,
skimmed
not
it.
quite.
Just skimmed it. And
Just. Is he going to finish inside, or going to get a little spin in there? Or maybe.
we're not sure. We don't have an overhead advantage here. Actually, we do. Yeah, I think Sarah's indicating that she'd like to remove it. They're debating which one to take out.
Exactly. If you take the center one out, it opens the house up. And
correct. And I think what she's chosen is to remove this one on the wings and hopefully roll towards the center.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, again, Mickey, we'll see what kind of weight she throws because it does move really well here.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Looks like a well thrown. She's going out after the outside one.
Yes.
On the,
yeah, that's the one.
That's good.
Yeah, here we go.
So that's a good takeout weight. 9.5. I got a split on it.
Pretty much what they were looking
Exactly.
for.
Yeah. You can see half of it.
Yeah, I think Sylvie might want to be moving her own
Exactly.
back, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
She wants to give herself an opportunity to get to that 4 foot, right?
Yeah. Open it up. Make sure she has a shot in her last shot. So.
And try to keep the shooter, right?
Yep.
So
exactly.
This is the second of
for
Melissa's rocks here in the third end. These are 10 end games. There is a break at the 5th end when the ice people come in and chamois the ice and just pebble the hack area. So they're not laying a brush to this.
It looks like she's going to have a big roll though. That blue one stays. No.
Well, actually, the blue one went behind cover there. That's
it's second stone.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
How do you score two? Well, you get one at a time, right?
There you go. And remove the open area, the front of the house. Yeah.
Exactly. But,
so Sarah has a choice here, Mickey. She could attempt to hit that back.
Yeah.
And roll in.
Take the raised takeout. And
yep. And at this point, she really doesn't. If the one she's tapping back should happen to roll out, it's not the end of the world.
No, exactly.
She's taking it out of play, right?
With that ice, I don't think she's throwing a lot of weight.
No.
It could be just like a control weight.
We'll see if they have to be sharp here on the sweeping because it will move depending on the weight.
Yeah.
We saw Melissa's just nick that guard.
Just nick the guard.
All right, so the first of Sarah Mallay's skips rocks here in the third end.
It's not a big, not big weight, but still.
And they're not rushing it, and
it's like still a takeout weight, though.
Yeah. So
it just doesn't react the same way in that spot. No, they should know that by now because it's always been like that.
Yep. So Sylvie's going to attempt to take a shot rock and stay. She doesn't necessarily have to roll. So
the games are played. Of course, thinking time is the big thing. They start with 38 minutes each team. And it's thinking time, not like the good old way. Like it was, as soon as the team vacates the ice, the house, they started timing until your rock would stop, and they have 2 90-second timeouts, including the coaches' travel. They give the coaches probably about 30 seconds to travel and a minute left to discuss the shots. So
they don't get paid mileage, though, right?
Do what? No, no dying.
All right, so here we go with Sylvie's first rocks. Here in the third end, take out, and
Looks like
she'll be
a
sitting
little
around.
flop over, and which is not a bad
Well done.
thing. Yeah,
Mission accomplished.
yeah. If Sarah would want to roll now, it would be a long roll. She's sitting, yeah, 1 and 2.
Yes. Yep. So Sarah, it's kind of a must that Sarah sits, takes this out, and she would prefer to be lying one after she shoots. So we'll see
Yes,
how
for sure.
see how that works.
That's in a good spot. It's probably right on the tee line. It looks like from here, anyways. And the further back the rock is, the harder it is to get that roll. If that rock was up top 12, she can get a real good roll off of it. But being where it is, hit and stick.
So the last of Mallais rocks here in the third end. They're not laying a brush to this either, Mickey.
Touch, and it's not finishing very much. And
She'll
looks like she'll have a draw for 2. And no question about it. They lay the broom down. They slide down to throw a draw.
So a couple of inopportune misses in this end, and allows Sylvie the chance to score her deuce.
That's how games are won and lost, by errors, and it takes that for a team to score 2, especially at this level. And
so full 8 foot for Sylvia Robichaud, the last of Skip's rocks here in the third end.
rocks on the way, and
Kendra and Nicole are not laying a brush to it, so that's not necessarily a bad thing.
not necessarily. They just don't want to sweep it too far, but
Getting some curl now.
They're
She needs
staying
full.
close,
She needs full 8 foot.
yeah.
So
could be the top 8 or the back 8. Doesn't matter. Oh, it would matter if you're in the 12 foot though.
wow,
That's one. Another error.
that slid a little further than the.
Yeah, exactly.
So again, missed opportunity. Sylvia Robichaud will pick up her single, and we're all tied up after 3 ends. One, Robichaud 1, Mallais 1.
I expected to see a close game, and we're getting it.
Mickey, that may have been an area too where there hadn't been a lot of draws.
She did take a lot of ice, yeah.
And going in,
Yeah.
towards the center line. So,
Exactly.
it's a bit like we were talking earlier. It's kind of a learning curve.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've been playing a lot of takeouts, but not a lot of draws from the outside in. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
once again, we like to have a shout out to our sponsors, Kruger Products, who have been with this event for 37 some odd years. Bob Lee Productions locally here in Moncton, Kevin R. Williams, Sun Life Financial, Deloitte, Uni, Shoppers Drug Mart, Atlantic Superstore, TD, Kirkwood Diamond Canada, and KKP. We certainly appreciate your support and your program that you've been enjoying through this week was designed by Crow Moncton's Executive Director Joan Reed and produced by KKP. So very well done.
First rock on the way in the 4th end, and looking for a guard.
Well, Mickey, I think the stats that I've just been passed kind of reflect the little bit of errors that have occurred here in the
Exactly.
first 3 ends of the game. We've got Team Robichaud crowning at 71% versus Team Mallais at 61%. So those numbers are certainly down
Exactly. Yeah.
for this kind of.
Yeah.
I mean,
could
there
be
are
the jitters.
there are some high scores in the teams.
in
So
the individuals.
Yeah.
They're pretty good, but you always look to be better. So
thank you. No, for sure, and we'll see. That's after 3 ends. So.
Yep.
We'll see how that improves as the game goes on.
Exactly. Yeah.
And stats aren't everything either.
No.
It's
Exactly.
it's a measure.
So Sarah tried to go around at center guard, but rubbed off of it, and now there's somewhat of two center guards, and Sylvie's taken advantage of it.
So Kendra Lister is being asked to come around the Mallais guard. Again, they haven't laid a brush. Melissa's going down now. It looks like they're starting to get some movement. This is great sweeping ice.
Exactly, yep.
And I think that was the concern. They felt that maybe it was a little bit
going to go,
heavy,
yeah.
but
It was kind of having that look of it's going to go, so sweep it. And
so back 12 foot, a little deep.
exactly. And having one sweeper, I saw Melissa switch sides there and trying to give Nicole a break. The bug is still there, probably. And
So Jane Boyle would be asked to come behind her corner, her first rock, which is the corner guard. Well, more of a center line guard. Yeah.
First of the button.
The sweeping, Mickey, it would appear that it holds it out a little bit,
Exactly,
right? Like
and,
they jump on it first, and it tends to stay there. We're getting finished now,
Exactly.
which is maybe what was intended, but yeah,
Exactly.
there you go. Again, a little deep, right?
A little deep, yeah. Behind the tee line is not necessarily a great spot to be. In play is good, but you want to be on top of the tee line and control that 4 foot area.
So,
Nicole's getting ready to throw a draw, like a freeze, or even top of the tee line there.
Yep. And I guess behind cover would be another objective.
Exactly.
Here, so.
Yep.
Good release, and the girls are indicating to Sylvie what the weight is.
Yep.
Sylvie's
So
looking
again,
at the
you
line.
jump on it, and
the 4 foot line's a great indicator. You can see that they're
absolutely,
holding it,
yeah,
so
exactly, yeah.
it's moving
I
hard.
think they
Once
really
you got to
went
the,
after this one and just got it and rolled it in. The weight seemed to be pretty good.
it did.
Again,
So
she might
Sarah,
have tightened the ice up a little bit and really got that curl on it.
so Sarah's indicating to Leah Thompson that she'll want that taken out and hopefully get a roll.
Hit it first, get the roll after. It's always a bonus. You play for it, but again, they're looks like they're throwing a lot of weight.
Carol and Jane are on this one, and
There it goes.
looks like they've got at least a half a rock. And
So
they
we
have
have behind
that
the
in
blue,
play.
yeah.
Well done. That was nice. Nice weight. That was
It's
nice.
very nice shot, and doesn't give Sylvie anything to come to. She's still got the draw though.
So Nicole will be attempting the draw into. She'd like it the tee line, right, Nick?
Yeah, top of the tee line. If you're going to miss it short, not long. So you can play it, have something to play on the next shot, or again the sweepers are
And
not
the ice has been consistent, Nikki. When
Exactly.
when you see that little extra
Yeah.
weight, it will not move.
Could be the jitters of this game. The meaning of it is what do you want to plays in your mind a little bit. And
Now, question for Sarah: do you start removing some of those ones out front? I mean, there's no
It's
bad
hers,
shot here, but
it's hers. She puts it in a good spot. If Sylvie wants to use that front or start taking the front out, it's going to be one of theirs and one of Sarah's rocks. And
so Leah's being asked to bring it to
Draw
the
around
12 foot. Yeah. The
as for the
girls,
12 foot, you get the 4. Well, it'll be good. And
Carol and
line's pretty
Jane,
good.
they're pounding that pretty good and keep it from.
Yeah.
Got nice weight.
So it's still a nice finish and good spot. It's about where she wanted it.
Mickey, it still leaves that the shot stone though. With I think they would have preferred that perhaps closer to the 4 foot
Exactly,
line.
yeah, to cut that draw off or
Because Melissa can certainly come in.
yeah.
This is the first of her mates rocks here in the fourth end, so it's very weight sensitive.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
If you're underthrow it, it's curling.
curling,
If you
yeah.
overthrow it, and it's staying right there. So,
So you got to depend on your sweepers, and
but that's not a surprise. It's been acting like that all week.
it's,
So
it's the same as it's been all week. Yeah.
So outturn for Melissa Adams, and the objective to sit on the shot rock of Sarah Mallais.
And again, the sweepers they're cleaning up, but
We're getting some
Coming
movement
now.
now, Mickey. Yeah,
they get that freeze, it'd be great.
a little bounce off.
Not
and,
too much bounce, a little too much bounce. Again, advantages for Sarah.
She's indicating to Carol that she'd certainly like the inside roll.
Yes.
The other point, if she hits it on the broom side, she could jam on hers. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And
err on the side of even if she hits it and rolls through. it's
leaving
not
the
terrible.
one that's there.
Yeah.
Good weight. Looks like a takeout weight.
They're brushing it. She's asking them to stay off now, and
Which is good. Yes, no, yes, no. It's always a good thing. A little flop over.
and she did get her.
Yeah.
However,
However,
it's behind the tee line,
Exactly.
and they still have an opportunity to freeze on that stone. So,
it looks like the first end where Sarah made a nice shot with her first one and changed the whole look of the end around. It's just about the same scenario except opposite teams.
this is probably the fifth attempt, I think, to have this freeze in this end. So
Exactly.
let's see how Melissa does this time.
Yeah.
The last of Melissa's mates rocks here in the fourth end.
It's nice to see the sweepers getting ready to sweep. It tells them that the weight's pretty good. So
Yeah, Sylvie's indicating weight only, so
yeah.
her line is good.
Mm-hmm. And it looks very good. The sweepers are really going at it.
Very nice.
Very good job. Absolutely.
Mission accomplished, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah will be asking Carol, I'm sure, to. Well, I'm not going to say for sure. I'm going to wait and see what Sarah indicates.
I think she's looking at the space in between. She could peel that out.
Which there is some.
Yeah, she could peel that out, and those two yellow rocks are only helping Sylvie, Robichaud team. And
At this point.
yes,
I think they're actually considering maybe starting to remove some of those center guards. Sarah has last rock.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
she wants the 4 foot to be open for her two rocks. So,
exactly. Yeah,
so that's the call.
Yep.
Certainly remove one. If you get the two, it's a bonus.
For sure.
The run back
Things,
is certainly there.
Yeah, exactly.
And Carol is good at shooting these.
A lot of weight here. That's like peel weight. Could come off of that other yellow right there. Well, she opened it up. Still has 3 in the house and one blue one being the shot rock.
That will certainly take out weight. So
Exactly. So I think they're going to throw a guard. And
Sylvie was indicating guard. Melissa seems to be talking about eliminating more of the. And now they're talking maybe putting, yeah. It's again
Exactly.
what they want to be thinking now is about what you're leaving Sarah Mallais for her
exactly. Yep.
for her first rock, right?
Yep.
There's a number of options. They can
for
see
sure.
they can see that I guess that's number 4 rock. Melissa's asking Nicole and Kendra.
I think they all agreed on the guard.
Okay.
The first indication that Sylvie's done, and
Yep.
usually the first choice is the one you go for. And
But it's good that they had consensus on
Absolutely.
that too, Mickey.
Absolutely.
Everyone needs to be on the same page here.
could be something you're not seeing, and
Yes, exactly.
So a tight guard here would be good because with the curl, of course, you can get to that blue one, but
With the positioning of those two ones out of the house, it'll make the drawdown a little more difficult.
for sure, yep. And this guard here, if you want to show anything, any part of that rock that's biting a button, a shot rock, you'd want to show the outside.
Okay.
So if Sarah would attempt to, it would be a jam of some sort.
All right, so Kendra's just. Nicole's not sweeping, but really it's not because it doesn't need any sweeping.
I think,
so she has
just
nice
cleaning
weight.
it,
Yep.
so it's a good indication that that's a good spot. Again, to hit that blue rock.
You know,
Who
Mickey,
knows?
with some weight.
Exactly, like I'm thinking peel weight and.
The other, could you get an inside roll on that? If you could, you'd lose one of yours. It
I
might
don't
jam
think
on
it'd
the
be number
yellow
one
back here.
still, would you?
With the inside roll?
Yeah,
Well, I'm talking eliminating it though.
exactly, yeah.
It's going to go off to
Oh,
to
for
the
sure,
broom
yeah.
side.
If you can get to the inside, but with
Yeah.
weight,
We'll see what.
it would be a very weight sensitive shot where you need to curl
Okay.
and yet have enough weight to push that one out. Not necessarily take it out, but push it out of there and leave your rocks to be number one.
Yeah, your thrown rock, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, this first of Sarah
I
Mallais
think
rocks
we're
here in
going
the
to see
fourth
some
inning.
weight here coming down, like a peel weight. And see, it's a quarter of it that should go.
They're brushing it all the way.
Exactly. They want to hit it thin and
So they've got off now.
back on it. And there you go. Great shot. Oh, I was thinking that yellow would go to jam on that blue back one, but it didn't.
No.
They're still sitting too.
Yeah.
And sitting pretty, although the shooter is
They're debating whether or not the
yellow rock was. I don't think.
I don't think it made contact.
No, I don't think so.
No,
It,
no. So we have Sarah Mallais line 2. Sylvie has got
Yeah.
they're debating whether she comes down onto
there's two.
that same shot that we've been playing all in. that
Exactly,
free.
yeah, exactly. The freeze or the hit. It's all up to you. Draw or hit.
Well, the issue with the hit, there could be a possible jam. You could hit and roll out, and then
Exactly,
Sarah has
yep.
her attempt for 2.
Yeah, exactly.
With the freeze, if it's properly made, they pretty well restrict Sarah to following
for
them
sure.
down.
Yeah. Again, the yellow rock's behind the tee line,
Yep.
and
As it's been all in pretty much.
they've pretty much played the end there, except
Yep.
for the one blue rock that was there earlier, and Sarah did move it out.
So the last of Sylvie Robichaud's rocks here in the fourth end. This will be the last of the skip's rocks for Sylvie. She's attempting a freeze on the shot rock.
We're going to see if we can get a time on this rock and see if the ice is faster or they've just been overthrowing it. Lots of line right now, but with the right weight, it does curl. And
If that yellow one
not touching it at all.
starting to move now, they may be playing for the nick.
Yeah, okay, well,
Actually, I think that's what they were attempting. Once they saw that it wasn't
exactly,
coming
it
off
wasn't
that,
coming.
they were playing for the nick. So
Yep.
it's not like for people to understand that
Yeah, the plan B or C,
Right, for sure.
it was there, and
Yep.
a very light tick, and it would have brought it into to be number 2 or possibly number 1. So.
All right, so the last of Sarah Mallais stones here in the fourth end. She's attempting a takeout to count her 3. And they've played this most the end. The tendency has been with a few to overthrow, but Here we go.
And it's all been behind the tee line as it is now, except for that one freeze with. It's drifting out.
It's that extra weight again, Mickey.
Yeah. Jam it. Okay, she got away with it.
Just that
I
little
think she
extra.
got her 2.
Yeah, just that little extra weight. And sure enough, 2 for Mallais here in the 4th end to lead 3-1 over Sylvia Robichaud.
Sylvia's probably doing a whew, type thing and saying could have been 3, but far from being over. Still have 6 ends to go.
And Mickey, you mentioned earlier in the at the start of the game the 38 minutes running time. We have Team Robichaud at 23 minutes 10 seconds remaining, with 2 timeouts, and Team Mallais at 25 minutes 40 seconds with 2 timeouts. So they're allowed 2 timeouts.
I think they're pretty much ahead of the game. After 4 ends, they haven't used up half their time yet.
All right, so Sarah's being asking Jane Boyle to proceed with 1 in the 4-foot. We're back to that strategy that we were saying was evident everywhere else.
Yep.
You're viewing the 2018 New Brunswick Scotties Tournament of Hearts being played here at Curl Moncton, corner of Lockhart and Essex Street here in Moncton, New Brunswick. Brought to you by Curling New Brunswick and TV1 Bell Alliant. Good game so far, Mickey.
Oh, absolutely. Good shot. The errors are getting less and less and less. And the first 3 ends, I think the jitters were there. And
so Sylvie's
going for a corner.
So Kendra, the infamous corner guard, and we'll see some movement. She was pretty well on the center line here, Mickey, and it looks like
she's coming out to help. Looks a little late, actually.
I think it was just more a fact of maybe not quite getting to the broom, and that's where that movement's been
that big
all
movement.
week. So.
It's late as well. So
she's over the hot line though.
Yep.
She's in place. So.
Yep. But with that movement, if you put one back there behind that guard perfectly, you can.
The next person can still.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so Jane will.
Jane's throwing a guard.
Yep.
Jane, a civil engineer with Hilti Canada Corps. Hometown is Sussex and curling out of Thistle St Andrews. 32 years curling.
Yeah, she's certainly one of the veterans out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And she's had her at the mixed and at the Scotties as well, right?
Yep,
her
exactly, yep.
Experience.
Good experience. When you get to a national event, the experience is very, very valuable.
Well, as I said earlier, with the bios that we've seen here, there are an awful lot of championships, whether it be at the junior level, at the mixed doubles,
exactly.
at the mixed...
Canada Games, yes. University.
Yep, the whole gamut.
Yep.
So Kendra's being asked now to place 1 freeze on the shot rock on the center line, and we're going to get some movement on this one too, Mickey.
Yeah, I think so. That's late again.
Not sure if that's just being underthrown or...
Yeah, Kendra...
a little bit late.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So Sarah's going to probably plug that up, I would think.
Well, not without the hammer. I think you want another one out there, or take that corner guard out. Like, and a lot of teams, of course, they hit that corner guard and want to roll away. If I would use it, put it
Sure.
towards the center. And
so remove it as far as the wings go and bring it back to the center line.
Exactly, yeah.
That's probably what they're called.
Put all your rocks in play, and she's taking ice quite a bit for... there's a whiff.
Again, that weight, just
weight,
that little extra.
Yeah, it was curling, but it just didn't come.
And I think that's a question of Leah and Sarah getting together on what weight do you really want to see there, and just because I think she threw it well.
Exactly, and also where the rock is, it's only 2 feet
Right.
by the
By the hog line.
hog line.
Yes.
If it was further in, it would probably got it.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
with the curl. But
Yeah.
you got to tighten your.
Yep. So just a need perhaps for an adjustment there.
Exactly. So Nicole's asked to raise takeout, and looks pretty good, and open it up a little bit. Gets the corner guard out of it.
Well, yes, and now it's the Robichaud rock that is could be run back.
Exactly. It's your rock up front, so it's your control.
Now Sarah's going to ask Leah for the guard. Well, she's actually throwing up an option. Do you want to go behind the corner guard, or do you want to?
Without corner, without the hammer, I think she was just indicating which turn do you want to throw.
We're getting the shots of the fans downstairs. It looks like there's a good crowd here at Curl Moncton to view this final game of the 2018 Scotties Tournament of Hearts for the province of New Brunswick.
Leah shot on the way. I think she wants this center line guard just past the center line.
When it gets close to the hog line, we're going to see the movement go.
Should be a good finish. The line looks pretty good.
And they're not laying a brush on it,
so
she's had nice weight.
Yeah, I think she wants to block that hit on the yellow from the outside.
And I guess that's what Sarah was indicating.
Exactly.
That, to come from the intern for Leah would be,
So she does that very well. And like I said, to be right on the center line would probably take away this raise that they're trying right now.
And Nicole just accomplished this, so it's pretty much the same rock she just had.
Exactly,
and, The straight run back takeout, so.
The weight looks good. It's curling.
Yeah, the Brewers held it well.
She's calling it off. Okay. So she wanted to roll at the end. It probably curled too much, and Sylvie saw that, so she called them off and got that corner guard.
Tried to make the adjustment,
Exactly,
So Sarah's asking Carol now on her first of the mates rocks here in the fifth end to place a center guard. We are playing the 4-guard rule, so we're certainly past that in this end.
And you mentioned earlier with that 5-rock rule, they seem to be liking it on
the Grand Slams.
Yeah, the Grand Slam events, and
it'll be an adjustment for sure.
Exactly.
And this is the great where the sweepers really come into play. Once you've crossed that center line, the hog line. It's coming up nice.
Yeah. Once you've determined that the weight is good, then you can sweep it or not sweeping. To get the right curl. And
Sylvie seems to be indicating to start clearing some house here, and again, it's about the skip wanting or being able to have an opportunity to get to the 4-foot.
Exactly. So she's asking Carol to do some house cleaning, and
Melissa.
Oh, sorry, yes, Melissa. Wrong team.
Same position. Here we go.
There we go.
And the option here is to clear a couple of them. They can run it back on the other one. There's
the weight
it looks like she's going to get 2 here.
Yeah.
Binga bunga.
And roll to a good corner guard. So
opened it up. However, I would dare say that Carol will probably be requested to put to replace that rock.
Yeah.
This will be
now it's Carol's. Now it's Carol's turn.
Yes. Now it's Carol's turn. Yeah. And there will be at the end of this end, there will be a 10-minute break. They'll chamois the ice and pebble just in the sliding area at the hacks, and the players get some refreshments and go from there.
Looks like a good guard, and the sweepers are controlling their sweeping very, very well, and
Mickey,
a little less curl than...
well, it's finishing now, but you probably would have wanted that out a little further, would you not think?
Yeah, I think so. And then again, if you're far and the curl that we're getting on the ice...
you go around?
Yeah, you want it tight, and she's indicating that same shot, hit and roll, though. So I think you wanted that guard more on the right side of the center line to us here, the right side. To cover it totally.
Yeah, so... It looks like the discussion is that if you take the center line guard off...
Either one right here, you don't want to flash it, so you want to hit the one in the back, get the roll, if it doesn't happen, if it overcurls, you want to get that
You
front
remove
one.
the front one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's the option, sure.
Yeah. There's always plan B or C.
So this is the last of Melissa's
Melissa's
rocks
rock,
here
yeah.
in the fifth end.
Yep.
And they're brushing this.
Exactly. And they're not throwing big weight.
They're holding it well, though.
Yep.
She's got a great shot.
Just had a little bit of room, but she got it out. Sylvie's working on getting it out,
But you're right. There wasn't a lot of, that was just back 12 weight.
exactly.
So,
Back 12 or hack weight, and your shooter stays, and that's the idea.
so Sarah has a couple of options here.
Yep.
You can play to the 4 foot. You
Yep.
can go to the wings.
You can bump. You can.
Mhm. The object for Sarah in this end is to certainly minimize how many points you're going to give your opponent.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah. And make it as tough as possible for Sylvie on her last shot. And she's opted to draw around that yellow guard, I believe.
yeah, coming into that path where it's been moving so
Exactly,
well
yeah.
for the whole tournament. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
She definitely wants to be number one.
yes, and there's really no way of getting at that blue one. I mean, I suppose you could raise one of those corner
Raise, yeah,
guards,
exactly.
but that wouldn't be easy. So,
No,
Yep.
absolutely not.
okay. So the first of Skip's rocks for Sarah Mallais here in the fifth end, attempting a go around for shot rock.
It's on the way. Sweepers again, they're keeping it clean, so it's a good indication that it's not heavy. It looks like a bump, really.
We'll get some late movement, but you're right. I think it's more of a bump. So again,
I think she wanted to hit it to the outside, behind that yellow.
and you'll see when she bumped it, Mickey, the rock that was bumped actually took the
Exactly.
the outturn. So.
Yeah.
So a similar shot for Sylvie as what she had asked
Yeah,
of
yep.
Melissa. So
Exactly.
they know what the path is here. Seeing
To get
that,
even a little flop would be a hard one to get out, as long as it goes to the outside, anywhere behind that yellow rock. To draw around to the button, I think the outturn is the only way they could
Yes.
do that draw.
so Sarah might have been a tad heavy with that, just seeing that we didn't get the movement that she had
Exactly,
hoped, and
right.
she did bump that to the center,
Exactly,
to the
yeah.
tee line. So
Yeah.
all right, the first of Sylvie Robichaud's rocks here in the fifth end.
Let's see what the weight indicates. They're on it right away, and
The sweepers are holding it quite well.
looks like
This
it's
is down
made.
this rock.
Here we go. Looks like a very similar shot. So there's two in there.
Not sure if that stayed on for
No,
the
hard to
second
tell
rock,
from-
but however,
However, that yellow is open, though. Unless Sarah puts one in there well hidden.
so Carol's was verifying which is number 2. It's really not sure from our vantage point whether Sylvie's in fact lying to at this point.
Yes, she says one for sure, but
Yep, she's got shot rock.
we see Nicole from the Robichaud team taking a break, sitting on the bench there.
Yes, with our photographer Greg Weston,
Exactly, yeah.
another one of our volunteers here
Yep,
at Cromwell.
Exactly.
All right, so the last of Sarah Mallais' rocks here in the fifth end. She's attempting to go around her 4 foot corner guard.
Let's see if we can get a time off of this and see what the ice is doing after 5 ends. And sweepers are on it right away. That's a good sign.
They are, and as soon as it gets to the hog line, Mickey, we're going to see some
really got to
movement.
watch your curl.
They got to believe it.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, it's over curling, and
It does roll in for number one,
exactly,
which
and,
is
and then
fortunate.
rolls.
You got the bit of a spinner
Yeah,
once it got into
exactly,
the house.
yeah.
Yes, that was a bit fortunate for Sarah
Exactly.
Mallais.
I say if you can't be good, be lucky. Well, she is sitting number one. Huh?
So Sylvie's options.
Draw for one. Timeout
Timeout
called.
being called. Well, the options draw for one. You could run that back if you thought you had your two blue out on the wings.
Exactly. It would be
That'd be a way to ensure that you get your two. However,
you really have to hit it to make the double.
we're going to see if we can't get a view plane of that.
No. It's hard to tell which one.
It's very close. We do have an overhead here, but it's too close to call, I got to tell you. So I think Elby Robichaud, the coach of Sylvie Robichaud's team, was coming out, and I think it's a risk for reward here. What do you want to gamble with? Certainly making the run back double on Sarah Mallais' stones is an option, but
would it give you two? Do you know for sure?
Melissa's talking to Elby now about that possibility.
If they're looking at that, it must be for two. Otherwise, draw for one. Why take the difficult shot? And the draw is open there, so.
The draw is open.
The out-turn draw is there. The button's open.
We say it's open, but the shots that they've been playing down there, Mickey, were those little tap and rolls, right?
Yes, exactly.
So, they haven't played exactly that draw coming in on the right-hand side. So,
but in this case, she'd need the 4 foot. So
yes.
you give according to what you can hit. You see it a 4 foot.
Sure.
You don't have to hide it or anywhere. So you just hit the 4 foot. I think
Sylvie's
she's opting to bump up.
She's actually looking at maybe Ray's takeout on hers and get her.
One that
they're looking at it.
Exactly, yeah. They're kind of like convinced to it, so.
And Sylvie,
half the rock.
Sylvie's got to like the shot. She's the one throwing it, so.
Exactly. That could have come from the coach, because I don't think we were looking at it, and I don't think they were looking at it.
So we about a half a rock, Mickey.
Yeah.
Melissa's eyeing it up now, and
exactly. It looks like half a rock, and.
The last rock of this, the fifth end, being delivered by Sylvie Robichaud. A raised takeout.
And I'm guessing it'll definitely be for two if she sticks it. And we don't know if it's going to be for three.
Possibly three, yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Here we go. Looks like we had
a little tight on it.
Looks like we had some early movement on that.
Yeah. So it's one Mallais rock, and she goes up 4-1, and we're taking a fifth end break.
We'll be back in a few minutes.
Sarah asking her first stone to Jane. Put it in the house again. It's been working, and hey, Arnold, welcome back.
Thank you.
And again, it looks like a little heavy. The draw weight is it's all the same line coming down this way.
Well, they were saying, and I think you mentioned it the other, was it this morning or yesterday as well, that after the fifth end break, they chamois the ice.
Yes.
And they pebble the sliding area.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just coming out a little quicker.
Well, it also, Chris Tapley, the Iceman here, he showed us a little video on what happens to ice in the fifth end break, and then they come out. I guess there's a frost that builds up, and they come out with the chamois and take that little frost off, and it brings the ice back to a nice, smooth. So it's all science.
So a guard outside of the house coming into the house.
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah,
it's that whole phenomena that we've seen. And
yeah.
we've got our stats, Mickey, after the fifth end break. Robichaud has dropped a little bit at 66%, and Team Mallais is bumped up a bit at 69%.
So they're both curling.
Certainly
equally.
below talent, that's for sure.
Exactly.
So
and
Jane
the scores indicate more than a balance than the percentage. There's not a big difference between the percentage, but yet the scores.
Right.
Mallais up 3.
Yeah. So Jane removed the rock that was in the rings, and Kendra's being asked to replace that corner guard. Sylvie's indicating where she'd like to see that rock.
Exactly. Again, the sweepers are just walking by.
I think she's got a better weight on this one.
I think so.
Nice movement. Yep.
And again, a good judge by the sweepers to not sweep. It takes good judgment to say let's sweep.
And Leah's throwing the fifth rock at the end, so this rock can be removed. Prior to that, it could not. So Sarah's asking Leah for an outturn, and
lots of weight.
And Carol has indicated that she's throwing lots of weight.
Lots of weight, yeah. And it's close. I think she's got it. Good shot. Another indication that Sarah wants to keep it clean.
Yep. The 2018 New Brunswick Scotties Tournament of Hearts being brought to you here at Curl Moncton by 5 TV1 and Curling New Brunswick. Mickey, we've got great sponsors. Kruger Products, of course, have been involved with this event nationally and provincially for somewhat of 37 years. We have Bobley Productions locally here, Kevin R. Williams, Sun Life Financials, Deloitte, Uni, Shoppers Drug Mart, Atlantic Superstore, TD, Kirkwood Diamond Canada, and KKP. We certainly appreciate their support, and it's a necessary aspect of an event such as this.
Yeah, it's absolutely. This event and many other events, nationally and provincially, without sponsors, it's pretty tough to put them on.
Okay, Leah's been asked to remove,
take it out again, and they're not indicating they want to stick around. They just want to clean it all up, and not a good shot.
So the Mallais rink, their objective in this end, of course, is to limit Robichaud to a single point. And of course, Sylvie's objective is to score at least 2 and just close the gap.
Exactly.
It's only the sixth end, so there's lots of curling left.
It's almost time now to think about which end you want to score in, the even ends or the odd ends, and especially going into the 8. I think you want to be at the advantage that you want to score in the 8, and force the other team in the 9th to a position where you've got the hammer coming home, and you can start thinking about it now.
Yep. And of course, this event, Mickey, the championship round here today is for the honors to represent New Brunswick at the Scotties Tournament of Hearts in Penticton, BC, at the South Okanagan Event Center, and that is being held January 27th to February 4th, just before the Olympics. And that is one of the reasons why I believe this event was held a little earlier, as was the juniors. The juniors was held, we hosted the under 21s men's and boys and girls event here at Curl Moncton, and Justine Como came through on the girls' side, and we'll be heading off later this month as well.
And Liam Marin from St. John
on the boys' side.
On the boys' side.
And there was great curling in those events as well.
Absolutely. For the young curlers that we have and putting up that kind of show, it was wonderful.
I think we had 14 teams in one division and 12 in the other or something
exactly,
like that.
Yeah.
So corner guard put up by Kendra Lister. Is that in the rings?
Sarah has asked Carol to take it out. And I might add that I'm very proud of our boys finishing second in the under 21.
Isn't that great? So we'll be hearing about them in the future.
Absolutely.
That was Team
Lewis,
right.
Cody Lewis, and made Trevor Stanton. Second stone, Will Robertson, and first stone, Josh Gogan.
So the majority of the team is from
Moncton, and
Moncton.
Cody Lewis is from Gage. And,
right. So Carol is speaking with Jane on that, a little bit of a smirk that perhaps she overthrew that a little bit and it stayed there. They made the shot, but...
it doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to be done.
So Sylvie's asking Melissa to...
I think go in now.
Yeah, come into the rings. Mickey, they've been playing a lot on this turn. Would you have gone to the other turn
to show a different...
yeah. And again, we're seeing...
again, Melissa Long.
That's certainly a phenomenon that's occurring. Yep. Okay, adjustments need to take place, and
Sarah's going the other way.
Is she, do you think she'll want that in the house, Mickey, and force Sylvie to come take it, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Force Sylvie to take that one, and force Sylvie to play what you want her to play, and Sarah's doing just that.
And you'd want it above the tee line, right?
Because, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to give an advantage to the other team. So.
And the advantage would be that if it was behind the tee line,
a freeze.
Sylvie could freeze to it.
Possible deuce picking up there,
right.
And you know. Yep. Curling's a lot of thinking going on.
And it's about the shot that you leave your opponent, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Gesundheit. We just had one of our timers here just have a bit of a sneeze. Okay, this is the first of Sarah Mallais' Skips Rocks, and I hate to say it, Mickey, but
that's that non-curling outside the forefoot.
Starting to finish now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And a little heavy.
The broomers, the sweepers didn't lay a broom to it, so
yeah.
Okay. And as we said,
here's the freeze.
Yep. And this is the same area where we've seen the freezes. And what end was it? I guess the fourth and the second end, right?
Fourth end, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been the second. It wasn't even end for sure, but.
Yeah. Well, I think it was the fourth,
yes.
Because we did have quite a bit of rocks in play, and
yep.
Sarah ended up scoring her too. So.
Yes, exactly.
All right, the first of Skips Rocks here for Sylvie Robichaud in the sixth end.
She's taking about the same ice, and
which kind of makes sense, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you throw it the same weight, you're going to freeze. Be in front of it. But then again, that rock is in the 8 foot, the back 8. So if she freezes, it gives the option to Sarah to freeze as well. But like freeze is a tough shot to make, and it takes good cooperation with the whole team, and the sweepers and the caller, the line caller, and good judgment on the sweeper's part.
They haven't laid much of a broom
Not
to
much.
it. They're just
it's coming now.
She's got nice weight. T-line weight.
Sweepers are really sweeping this one nicely. Good judging on
Very
the,
nice.
on the sweeper's part. Beautiful. So
All
then
right.
again, there's a little gap there, but you'd really have to throw it to get that blue one to go. I think Sarah's thinking about it. So
With the ice she's giving, and she attempted that in that same end, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah. So she hits a quarter of it hard. She'll probably get that. The ice, the houses are lively, and the rocks are lively.
These are the new rocks that you were speaking
Exactly,
about, and
yeah,
the big thing about the new rocks is that the striking band is wider,
Yep.
and hence the movement upon being struck. So.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right, this is the last of Sarah Mallais' rocks here in the sixth end.
Yep.
Looking to really clear the house, right?
Exactly. Yeah. She's throwing that weight that she wants.
They haven't laid a brush to it, I
Not
think.
done yet. Gets the,
And she has to make good contact with this for it to move all the way
a
up.
good quarter of the rock, but which is she
Not
didn't
gonna
get
happen.
it. So
That's how difficult that shot
exactly.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, you really. She hit about half that rock.
Probably needed to hit less of it, right?
I'm saying a quarter, but
Yeah.
with lots of speed. No more than a third of it, and lots of speed, like peel weight.
So opportunity, Sylvie, to get her deuce here in the sixth end, and
She just threw
Right
this
back
draw,
into
so she should know. She have a good feel for this draw. She just threw it, so. And the faux pas for Mallais was not be behind that tee line on that draw.
to start off with, yes. Yeah.
Exactly. So one little mistake sets up a possible two for Sylvie.
All right, the last rock of the sixth end being delivered by
Sweepers are
Sylvie
going at it.
Robichaud, and they're rushing this. However, she needs any part of the ring.
Looks
so,
pretty good. They're easing off a little bit. And if the shot's made, sweep it. No harm in sweeping it.
There we go.
There you go.
And a score of 2 for Sylvie to get back into this game at 4-3 after 6 ends for Mallais over Robichaud. Here in the 2018 Scotties finals at Curl Moncton.
And again, I'd like to mention the advantage of scoring in the even ends now, which is important at the 10th end. You want to have that last shot for yourself.
And after 6 ends, we have Sylvie at 15 minutes and 59 seconds with 2 timeouts, and Sarah is at 19 minutes and 21 seconds, so still plenty of time to play the remaining 4 ends.
So they had their team discussions and figured out how they want to play this. And
I don't know if the viewing public can see the trophy table, but they've got the prizes set up here on sheet 10 with the Scotties trophy and the prizes for the winning and runner-up team.
yeah, it's always a little intimidation to look at that table, and I'm sure the players are probably trying to ignore it right now.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the focus, that's for sure.
No, exactly, yeah.
So Kendra
she's
Lister.
asking for a guard. We'll see if she gets it. Weight looks pretty good.
They haven't laid a brush to it, so Sylvie's coming out just to help out, but it's getting to the center line, so
Exactly.
mission accomplished.
Yeah. Say closer to the house, the better, because of the good curl on the ice. So it's at a good spot. Now Jane is attempting to go around, which is pretty much how they've been playing the whole game. Depending on what the other team does, the other team seems to want to take control right away. And
They're waiting for the curl here, and
Exactly.
they're trying to get some movement now.
we're right to the button. Good shot by Jane. Good weight. Top of the tee line or right on it
And Sylvie's asking
for a freeze.
Kendra to freeze. Game on.
Game on. That's it. Yeah.
These curlers, we mentioned, Mickey, too, that the number of Scotties appearances by members on both teams, predominantly Sylvie's team, with her being there
Right.
at least, I think it's 3 times, and then mixed a couple of times. Jane Boyle on Sarah's team, same thing. So,
Yep.
lots of experience.
Absolutely.
And a shot, perhaps a little shorter
But still
than
playable. Though.
Yes.
You're better there than long. So
right. And
I had
Sarah's,
a 15-7 split on that one, which is very, very
that's
good
been
ice.
consistent then?
Oh yeah. Top
Sarah's-
8, and it's very nice.
Sarah was debating asking Jane to come in and follow Kendra's. Now she's asking for the other turn, but basically the same shot.
Well, she's she's going to the outside, I believe.
And we can see from the camera too that there's a nice crowd here at Carroll Moncton viewing this finals of the 2018 Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
Right. So Jane attempting to go to the outside with her draw, and the sweepers jumped on it, but then
This will have a hard finish as well, Mickey.
exactly. And the more finish, the more it slows down, and sweepers really have to watch that and be very nicely on top of the tee line. A good spot to be.
Kind of forces Sylvie to make a play on it, and if she can get that out and roll back towards the
Towards the center, bring the play to the center so they can have a chance at removing that yellow one there.
So Nicole with the first of hers here in the 7th end. They're not laying a brush to this.
Not a bit, and she's got it, but is she going to get the roll? Or
She won't get the roll, but I think
No.
she's staying for, well, perhaps not. No, as you said, those
Yeah.
rocks are lively. So.
yes, they are, and the weight was there for it to roll out. It doesn't take much.
So Sarah's decided to make a play on the center guards to keep it open. She has lost rock here in the 7th end, so wants to give herself an opportunity. So she'll be asking Leah to remove that.
I think she's got a good piece of it, and
Yep.
yeah, Leah's been doing that very well this game.
All right, Sylvie has an option here, Mickey, to run their rock back and
Exactly,
remove
and-
the shot rock, or
And sit 2 or guard it.
guard it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think she's asking Nicole to do just that. Well, they're debating.
So I think they're going for the raise. She indicated, I think,
The raise takeout?
takeout weight. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. They're having some discussion, but I think that's ultimately what they decided.
Came to that point. Yeah. You draw or you hit.
So the second rock for Nicole Bishop here in the 7th end, and a raised takeout.
Looks pretty good.
Get nice movement in the end. She had
Yeah,
nice weight.
exactly. Just perfect.
Very well done. And that would be scored a 4. We have our statisticians here that mark every shot, indicating which turn the player through and what was asked by the skip.
I think Leah's going to be asked here to the doubles there. There's a little angle to it. It's on the nose. Could be a good shot. Clean house. So,
That Mickey looked like it was out there a little bit.
exactly. Yeah.
She is a left-hander, so but it is coming at the late.
Coming.
She'll
but-
get the one.
Yep. Sylvie probably put a guard up there, and she's indicating tight. You don't want it too far up front, where it's easy to get to the shot rock.
So the first of Melissa's mates rocks here in the 7th. Sweepers haven't laid a brush as yet.
Exactly, yeah.
Again, we're going to get that finish as it
They
approaches
want
that
to,
hot line.
Kendra,
Here we go.
and they're again switching where Nicole is taking a break.
Yeah, very well.
Looks like a good line and a
Yep.
good spot. Wonderful. Nicely made.
I think Sarah would want to remove that again with the shot rock being on the forefoot.
Yep. She's indicating the out turn.
For Carol Whitaker, and the first of her rocks
First of
here
her
in the
rocks, yeah.
7th end. Yep. Now, I mean, the double is there, Mickey, but the objective here is to remove that.
Exactly,
that
and
guard, right?
actually, I think they're going for it. A little angle. No, they got the roll. The objective is really to get to open it up, and that can act like a corner guard for Sarah in her next few shots. So.
Mickey, because of the storm that we had on Thursday, of course, we had to cancel the opening ceremonies and eventually ended up canceling the 7 o'clock draw and moved all the draws down. However, after the finals tonight, this afternoon, there will be a closing ceremony, so
Yes.
people can stick around for that.
Sure. Honor our champion, whether it be Robichaud or Mallais. Another good guard put up.
So Melissa's duplicated her first rock.
Showing a little bit of the outside of that rock now, and we know it curls there. So you never know. I wonder if the angle that guard and the rock in the house is good enough to hit it, play the double, and roll over to the corner as well as their first shot.
Yeah.
Well, she was to decide. She hasn't decided anything. A lot of thinking.
Carol
Okay.
is, I think, asking, yeah. So
Yes, exactly. So
the fear I would have with that, Mickey, is if you hit and stayed and then allowed Sylvie
Exactly,
to come in and do the...
but I think you, if you hit and stick here, I think you get rid of both of them. But they're on the outside of it, so another jam here maybe. No. I was thinking maybe if she'd have hit that yellow and the blue one come back, it might have.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the intended, but yeah.
Exactly, and no.
So Sylvie's playing this. Melissa's giving ice for Sylvie to replace the guard to the center line and cover shot rock.
Exactly. It's two or either Sylvie blanket or have Sarah blanket, but the 8th end is coming. I think it's a very important end to be scoring in that 8th end, just to control the scoreboard.
Yeah, objective here for Mallais would be to have the blank and yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
The weight's good. They haven't laid much of a brush to it, and it's
Not much.
it seems to finishing nice.
It'll be a very nice tight guard.
A little tighter, perhaps, than she would have liked.
Yeah, she's in the house, so still something for Mallais to deal with, though.
Yeah. So this is certainly a run back attempt, I would
Oh,
think.
yes, for sure. And the doubles there, they're closer together, and so
And you could have a flop behind that corner guard.
exactly. It might even get a bite of the house, depending on how deep that blue one's in.
All right. So the first of Sarah Mallais' rocks here in the 7th end. Mallais has a hammer here in the 7th end, so attempting to make a run back double. The bonus would be, of course, if her shooter were to roll into the rings.
Yeah, behind that guard, it would be a possible deuce setting up. It would force Sylvie to make a real good draw someplace. And
However, the plan at hand is to remove the two.
exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Open it up, and everything else is a bonus. So
They were on and off that.
Exactly. It looks like it's curling.
Carol's
a little
letting
bit.
them.
It looks
very nice
pretty
finish.
good. Oh, she just got a piece of it, but that.
A bit of a bad luck. She actually knocked it behind the car.
Exactly, yeah, right. So here, Sylvie, the goal is to really be number 2, to force Sarah to draw for 1.
The bit unfortunate on that because it seemed to perhaps not finish as they expected.
It would have been another inch of curl, and I think it would have been a successful double.
And did Sarah's shooter roll on?
Oh yeah, the yellow rock is on there. So
okay.
Unfortunately, the blue rolled behind the other guard, so it's pretty hard to take out that blue. Although it's open a little bit,
But Sylvie is going to be on the aggressive side here, and
for sure.
Probably not playing a guard. She's probably going to come into the rings.
She indicated top 8, and it would be a good spot for it.
Yep.
Shrinking the scoring area for Sarah. Even top 4 wouldn't be a bad shot. And
once again, they're not laying a brush to it. So, and we're going to get some finish here in a second.
Kendra wants to. She looks like she wants to go at it and.
Coming nice.
Yep, exactly. Yep. Top 4 would be
very nicely done.
Very nice.
Yep. So to lie 2 and
top 12,
covering shot rock. Sarah has an open draw to the 4-foot. And this they have played this shot part of the game, so it shouldn't be unknown to them here.
It's the curling side, I believe.
The sweepers will have to be sharp, and Carol will have to be.
The line collar is when it starts to curl. Just before the hog line, it really starts to curl, and you got to control it. If you don't want it to curl too much, you got to control it before that.
So this is the last rock of the 7th end. Sarah trying to score her 1 against 2 impending stones of Sylvie Robichauds.
So the sweepers are
just cleaning it so far.
Making sure of it, and then that's a good indication. So
Jane is
wanting to, but it's all good judgment.
Looks like she has. Here's the curl. The curl's getting into it here.
Yeah, exactly, and it'll slow down probably.
Very nicely done to the button.
Yep.
So score of 1 for Sarah Mallais here in the 7th end, bringing the score 5-3 over Sylvie Robichaud in the 2018 New Brunswick Scotties Tournament of Hearts Finals for a chance to head off to the Nationals January 27th to February 4th in Penticton, BC at the South Okanagan Event Center.
Again, I'm willing to offer my services as a commentator.
TSN, I don't know if TSN is listening today, Mickey.
I don't think Russ is too much in danger of losing his job.
No. This event was a round robin. 6 teams in the event, 5-game round robin. Everyone played each other, with the ultimate top team coming to this final, which was Sylvie Robichaud. Sarah had a little more of work to do in winning in the tiebreaker against Justine Como, and then playing in the semifinals this morning to Armstrong.
And during the round robin, Sarah was the only team to beat Robichaud.
Correct. Yes, Robichaud's record was 4-1. So
right. Yeah.
All right.
So it's in the house, top 4, and a good spot. I think we're going for a corner guard.
Correct. Mickey, this is a little more what we're expecting.
Yeah,
Sylvie Robichaud,
they got back up there.
They've moved up to 72%, and Team Mallais is at 71%. So there's some larger percentages within the teams, but overall it's
they're
probably
getting better. Yeah, it's still a little low, but they're getting better at it.
Correct.
So that's a good corner guard. It's thrown by Kendra.
So Jane is being asked to replicate, or actually probably go to the center
Yeah.
line guard.
Looks like a really tight guard or top 12 or something like that.
The girls just seem to be keeping it clean. Leah and Carol are off it now. Actually, we may have a freeze here, but
No, it looks like
it's
top
finished
12
well.
or,
Yeah, very
or
good.
guard. Very tight guard, or oh, she got a base of the 12.
Just biting.
Yep.
Either way, Kendra would have been able to. No, if that had not been in the house, Kendra would not have been able to remove it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
probably the girls didn't need to be on that.
Yeah.
All right, so
So you're asking for a hit and roll, and which is a good option, especially when you got the hammer.
and she's not looking for the double here.
Not necessarily, no. It'd be a tough double, and it would probably end up to be a centerline guard, so that would only help the other team.
They haven't laid a brush to
Nothing at
this,
all.
so and it's going to be lively. We'll see.
There's, yep. It's almost you have to hit 3/4 of the rock to get a
To stay, right?
to stay in the house. No, the weight wasn't really that bad, but
So Sarah wants to act on that
Yep.
corner guard.
again, it would be to her advantage to roll it. That
So hit about half a rock and come back towards the center line.
Yeah, half or with that kind of weight, maybe 3/4 of it. But I think they're going for a straight peel.
Yeah.
But then
they
she's
pounded
got
it pretty
about
well.
3/4 of it. Yeah, if you're gonna
And take it right out.
right out, yeah, as far as you can. That's a good shot.
And the two
Not-
sweepers are allowed, Mickey, above the
Above
tee
the tee
line.
line.
Behind the tee line, of course, only one sweeper is entitled, and it doesn't matter who it is. Yeah.
I think Sylvie is asking to go around that corner guard. That corner guard.
That was just left there from the removal of the.
She's going for a corner guard herself, so.
Yep.
I thought she'd try and put it around and use that corner guard as a line of sight type thing, something to look at when you're throwing the rock and don't want to hit it. But she's opting to go to it's a nice shot.
Yep, that's pretty well where Sylvia had indicated she'd like to see that. And Sarah, of course, won't waste any time in asking Leah to take
Exactly.
to remove that. And roll out.
Exactly.
You know, not
not
keep
to
your
the center,
shooter.
but beyond the center.
Yep.
Of course, she has hammer, so if you want to roll someplace and it's not going out.
Sylvie has hammer, right? Yep.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's,
There you go.
St. Sarah would to roll anywhere would be at the center.
Yep.
But to roll out's fine. It's a good shot.
Now, is Sylvie going to act on that one in the house? It looks like she is now. So Nicole will be requested to remove that and get a roll anywhere, but you'd want to stay in play.
Exactly. Well, there's not a lot of ways. She's looking maybe for that corner guard.
No, you're right. She's back to the corner guard. Sorry,
Yeah.
I just saw with Sylvie sitting beside or
Yeah,
standing beside that rock. Stand corrected.
Pretty consistent with her weight, throwing guards, and
Nicole, in spite of the way she's feeling, she's
Yeah.
she's not curling a bad game.
exactly.
So Carol is
And,
a
third
a
stones.
good takeouter for Sarah and enjoys
Exactly.
that position. So
Right.
she'll be requested to remove that corner guard.
And we can see she's not taking very much ice.
She likes to throw the extra weight.
Okay.
Carol does. Yeah.
All right.
You don't
It
want to.
looks pretty good. The jam is dangerous, though.
I think she's
Nope,
fine.
I
Yeah.
think,
With
there's a
that
lot of
weight-
room there, but
with that weight, you don't need to hit a whole lot of the time.
exactly, yeah.
Nice to see the girls out there smiling and talking, and
Absolutely.
they seem very
Very relaxed. And,
yes.
But you have to
that's-
be. You can't have tension going
No.
through you and curl well. So
All right, so the call here, Mickey, is to sit on top of the shot rock.
exactly. Yep.
And again, this is the same area that we've played in two
Yes.
previous ends.
It's a little less ice than they were taking, like say for Sylvia's draw down there the last time that we were talking about this end, but
Sylvie's
sweepers
indicating
want
where
to,
she.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a good sight when the sweepers want to get on it, and it's only the line now.
And Melissa has a nice late finish too.
Yeah, she
so
jumped in to take over from Nicole. Good job. Again, something that Sarah has to deal with. If she wants to force Sylvie to one, even losing that back one wouldn't be a bad thing.
Carol can throw the high, heavy ones too.
Yeah.
So
I think she's going to need it. She gets a piece of that yellow.
you think she'll try to come across that, Mickey, or
No, I think
hit on the broom side?
Not with that broom and that weight. So
Okay. Well, they've brushed right on
again,
it. So
it would be a quarter of the rock. So make sure that blue gets out, and it's. The hack took a beating there, but still intact.
I'm wondering if they perhaps they should be taking a little more ice on those shots. Just
Exactly.
To,
A few ends ago, coming down here, they had that same type of shot and the same result. So
yeah. So Sylvie's setting up for her 2 here in the 8th end.
yep. Take advantage of a miss.
Again here in the 8th end, the last of Melissa Adams' rocks, the mate for Sylvie Robichaud. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Kruger Products, Bob Lee Productions, Kevin R. Williams, Sun Life Financial, Deloitte, Uni, Shoppers Drug Mart, Atlantic Superstore, TD, Kirkwood Diamond Canada, and KKP.
Good shot. Good on the tee line. Pretty much even. There's no double.
So, Mickey, the object here is to take that out,
Exactly, yeah.
lie shot, but
Lie
perhaps
shot.
come more towards the center.
Exactly. Try to get both rocks to get closer and closer together, so though she might have a double with her last shot. So
But again, objective number 1 is to remove that stone.
remove that stone. A nice roll would be right where the towel, the word the towel there.
Right, sponge towels, yeah.
That would be ideal, and Sylvie would have to deal with it. She'd be number 1. And
You were throwing that in for our sponsors, right?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Here we go, the first of Sarah Mallais' rocks here in the 8th end. An attempted takeout, takeout and roll.
They're using the quiet takeout weight.
Staying there,
Successful.
she gets shot rock out of it, so
Yeah,
Sylvie will have to come after her, which isn't a bad shot either, Mickey.
Nope.
If
No, you have to make the other team throw something at it. A hit and stick is always a little more difficult than just a draw, and especially with this lively ice. And
we'd like to thank Bella Lion TV1 as well. The cameramen here, we've got at least 4 or 5 on board, and a shout out to them. It's great having them on board to deliver this final of the 2018 Scotties Tournament of Hearts. So the first of Sylvie's rocks here in the 8th end.
all important shots right now. It just she has to make this and stick it. Summer's in the house.
Very important to stick around.
Exactly, and it.
They haven't laid a brush to it, but she has
Not
some
yet.
nice weight, and it's finishing for her.
Very
So
quiet takeout weight. That's
very nice.
Yep. Wonderful. It looks like it's a setup for a 2. Whether she's going to have a takeout or a draw, we'll see in a minute. Where Sarah is going down to throw her last rock. Again, the advantage here is to Sylvie. If she gets her deuce, the game is tied, and if she can force Sarah to a 1 in the ninth and then come home with the hammer, being down 1 wouldn't be a bad situation.
All right, so the last of Sarah Mallais' rocks here in the eighth end, attempting a takeout and stay. She'd want to be shot rock to force Sylvie to come after her. May have overthrown this a bit. She's going to get the rock, but she's going to leave too.
Yeah.
So open draw.
For two.
Yep.
Again, she's going to throw that same draw that she threw for two in the
fourth end.
Sixth end. Robichaud.
Yes, right.
Oh no,
no, you're right.
Yeah. Yep.
Here
Sixth
we go.
end. Yep.
So the last rock of the eighth end being thrown by Sylvie Robichaud. An open draw to score her deuce and tie this game up. It's been a nice close game for finals to represent your province, and the girls, the stats are not showing that they're curling stellar, but it's still been a great game, back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really sticking in there with they're curling well or not.
Yep. And we only say that because typically the front end would be in the 80% range, and
85 and over.
Yeah,
yes,
and your
exactly.
skips would be in the 70, 75 or better.
Yeah.
And so we're not being critical. It's more the fact of life right now.
Exactly.
So very well done. Sylvie goes in for her second point, and we have a brand new ball game, as I said.
Exactly. Yeah. 8 ends of play in a tie game.
Yep. We're tied at 5-5 here at the 2018 Tournament of Hearts, Scotties Tournament of Hearts here at Curl Moncton in Moncton, New Brunswick.
It's always exciting to have close games where.
Well, especially at this, when you get into the later draws, and this is the finals.
Yes.
Right now we have Sylvie with 9 minutes and 46 seconds remaining on her time with 2 timeouts. And Sarah Mallais is at 12 minutes and 52 minutes with no problem.
52 seconds.
52 seconds, yes. 12 minutes, 52 seconds to play 2 ends. So that certainly is not a problem.
No. Somebody mentioned before the game, I was downstairs before coming up talking to some people, and said, this is probably going to be a blowout like the Super Bowl or the big games and stuff like that. You expect a close game, and then next thing you know, one team really comes on strong and wins it walking away, but not this one.
And there haven't been too many of those games here. We did have a few, but overall we haven't. It was pretty good play, and the ice conditions have certainly been excellent.
Exactly.
So kudos to Chris Tapley and his crew here from Curl Moncton, who for the most part are volunteers.
Exactly. So she's asking Jane to draw to the tee line.
We're going to see some movement on this
exactly.
too.
Not as much as the other way.
No,
but,
not as much as
the ice moves real good if you throw.
As it slows off, it gets over the hog line.
Yes.
And we're back to the 4 foot line.
Almost to the. Ooh, she didn't miss that center line guard by much, but she
look
did
at
miss
the finish, Mickey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Lots of
T-line
curl
weight,
to it.
very
T-line
nice.
weight. Yeah, beautiful. And I got a 14.9 on it. Still.
So it hasn't changed much.
No, not much change to the speed of the ice. And
Kendra's being asked to remove the shot rod.
yeah, consistency in the ice is easy for the players and easy for the skips to read. There's no big changes from the first to the last end.
I don't know if Kendra, it's
gonna
coming back
piece
now.
of it.
Here it is. It's finishing nicely.
Yeah.
She has nice weight, and that was the compensation.
Exactly. Yeah.
They weren't brushing it, and looks like
just
she's
gonna roll out now.
No, just a bit. She might have thrown that just a bit out.
Could have.
Nikki.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, Sarah's going to ask for
another draw there by.
and she's reduced her ice a little bit, Mickey, as you said. It came very close to that center
She wants
line
it
guard.
further out than as far out as possible. Top of the tee line again.
Leah and Carol are brushing this. They jumped on that right away. Now they like their speed, so we'll see the
Exactly,
finish.
yeah.
And as it finishes, it'll slow
go,
up as
yeah.
well.
At
Nicely done. Back
almost
to
the
back.
same
Yep.
above the tee line. Good sweep, good judging.
And a good throw. Sandy Call will be asked to remove the shot rock.
Right. It does curl here. As we've seen in
Good
the past,
sweeping,
but,
and they're going to get a roll
yep,
out of this, Mickey.
absolutely.
So that was well
Get it
well
to the
called.
center.
Very
Beautiful
nice.
shot. Well swept.
Nicely done.
Good line calling.
So
That'll
Leah
be a-
just mentioned to Sarah that she could see half. So
Yep.
again, there's that communication that we were
Exactly.
talking about, back
Right,
and
yep.
forth. Give me an idea of
Yep.
what to be expected.
So I think they're going to try and bump it out.
We
And this is
mentioned,
the curling side here.
we mentioned earlier that Sylvie Robichaud was a Scotties champion in New Brunswick back in 2015, 2016. And Sarah Mallais was the runner-up in 2017 at Miramichi, which was won by Team Armstrong that Melissa Adams skipped. So
Looks like a good shot by Leah
nicely done.
in the open, and she's not indicating a
So-
roll anyway, one way or the other.
No, they just discussed the type of weight that they would like
Exactly.
to see.
It looks like it was indicating a bump weight.
So we're back to that communication being very important, Mickey.
Exactly. Making sure everybody's on the same page with the shot.
Nicole Arsenault-Bishop, the second of her rocks here in the ninth end.
They might be looking for a little roll there, a little flop to the
Well,
inside.
that's a nice weight. The
Yes, exactly.
sweepers,
It'll go though.
Yeah.
They kinda,
Mickey, a little bit of a sweeping error there.
Exactly.
Because
Well,
they could have
line
been.
call.
It was very nice weight by Nicole, and
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great shot.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But yep. So
For sure. They might have been called off the sweeping, but who knows?
so Leah is being asked to take out the
The blue.
rock on the 4-foot, and the girls are pounding this.
Yes, exactly.
We're going to get
They're
some
looking for a
movement.
roll. They get
We're
some
gonna get
movement
some-
on this rock
yeah.
too, and actually looks pretty good for a nice roll. Just a little too far.
No, it's not bad.
Close. Not bad at all.
They sat back a bit for them.
Yep.
Sylvie didn't take any time in getting Melissa to get ready to take the shot rock out. She's asked for a little more ice.
Yep. So the weight can't be. Well, they threw bump weight at it last time, so.
So the first of mates rocks for Melissa Adams.
So the weight is like a nice
She's
control.
got
and,
nice soft weight, and they're not
exactly.
laying a broom to it.
They
But
gotta watch it though. Yeah. Right there it'll go.
Kendra's getting ready.
Yeah, there it goes.
Yeah.
Like,
So
they're
they're
looking
gonna
for an
spill to
outside
the open
roll.
side. Yeah.
Get away from that center and make the hit and roll for Sarah a lot harder.
So Kara Whitaker will be asked to remove the only stone in play, which is shot rock.
Nose hit to stay on top of the tee line would be good, but
Yeah, even Mickey, it wouldn't be terrible if she sat right there, right?
absolutely. Yep. That looks
waiting
like
for it
it's
to come. It'll
staying
finish.
out there.
Yeah. However, she'll roll out as well. So
But you made the shot.
Yeah.
The objective, get rid of the blue. It changes Sylvie's shot, but from a hit to a draw now, and
Melissa just asked Sylvie where she would like it to finish, and she
Okay.
said the 8-foot top 4-foot
top
would be
four, yeah.
great. So this is the last of Melissa Adams' rocks, mates rocks here in the ninth end. The score all tied at 5-5. These are 10-end games. We did have a few extra ends during the week, Mickey.
Yes.
In fact, there was one last night in the tiebreaker game.
Yep. I think Samantha Crook had 3 of her games go into an extra end.
Is that right? Yeah. Very nicely done. That's
Absolutely.
just about the weight that Sylvie had asked.
What they were asking for, and that's what they got.
Now, decision time.
Yeah, exactly. Open it or go around. I think I'd do this too.
Just remove the center guard.
Exactly, yep.
Looks like it's curling
I
across.
think so. You may as well go for the double, maybe. Oh, well.
Worst case scenario.
Exactly, yeah.
You have to be committed to those, Mickey. You want to remove the guard.
Exactly, and
You
not
don't
have a double in your mind or nothing like that. Just remove that guard and roll away. Advantage Sylvie now. One thing that I look at my junior team when they're playing a game is when the other team missing, do they make them pay for it? So if you can make them pay every time they miss, then you pretty much control the game. So we'll see how Sylvie does here. I think she's drawing to the button.
Yeah, I don't think she'd want it too deep, Mickey, right?
No, especially not behind the tee line and somewhere's behind that other blue. So now she has like 2 guards in a way, but that yellow is a very long guard with a curl here. If she's out a little bit, not quite behind the blue, it would be usable by Mallais.
Again, Kendra's just, they're holding off.
Yeah.
Nicole and Kendra are now, Melissa's asking him to bring it in.
It looks like a real good line.
Getting some nice movement.
Very nice.
Right to the button.
Right to the button. Wonderful.
Very nicely done.
Right behind that yellow guard for sure.
So the objective for Sarah here, I guess she has to follow her in. She hasn't much choice.
Yep. And
Perhaps just a bit more weight than what, and of course in so doing you may not get the same movement. So we'll see how this finishes up.
If she can bump that about 6 inches, but then if on the bump she's going to be rolling out to the outside, so not a big advantage there. So.
Nikki, at this point too, if even if she sits on that rock, she might be able to do something.
Freeze it to it.
With her next rock. A bump would be good, but you don't want to be bumping and rolling out. So.
If you can bump and stay right there, that it wouldn't be too bad.
Right.
But
so the first of Sarah Mallais' rocks here in the 9th end.
She's not throwing very much weight, so
she does not have hammers.
If she does have the bump, to stick right there would be fine.
Looks like this may have been thrown out a bit, Mickey. They're not brushing it.
They're not touching it at all, and the line not good yet. It's starting to come, but
just a little extra on that.
I think so.
Yeah. Again, thinking that bump.
Exactly, and it's a bad miss. A good miss would have been short, top 8 or something like that. Somewhere's where you can use it. So now they're calling for a guard, and
Melissa's discussing with Sylvia. Sylvia comes back to shoot her rock, just how deep or where they would like that to end up.
Exactly. I think Sylvie was pretty decided on what she wanted to do, where she wanted to put the rock, and I think top 4, even top 8 wouldn't be a bad shot.
So the last of Sylvia Robichaud's rocks, skips rocks here in the 9th end. Sylvia is lying 2 at the moment.
Line 2 and well protected. hanging out there like Sarah's did, and
They haven't laid a broom to it.
Nothing
And
to it at
as
all.
we said earlier, that's not always a good sign.
No.
She has nice weight, though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, if she hits that, can she make a double? Can she be number one? I don't think so.
I would say not, unless she,
No, yeah,
unless she got some
she'd
roll on.
roll in. Tough shot. She's going for the draw. She needs the pin. She needs.
And there's no triple to her. Even if she would attempt the takeout, there's no triple there. So
I don't think so.
she needs all of the pin.
Exactly. Right now, it's knocking the Robichaud team to a 1 instead of a 3.
Correct.
And only being 1 down with the hammer coming home is not a bad thing.
Nope.
But she has to make the shot.
And
This is a big shot right here.
That's her best option at the moment. So, all right, the last of Sarah Mallais skips rocks here in the 9th end. Score is all tied up 5-5 with Sarah facing 3.
Sweepers are on it right away.
We're keeping it out on the fresh stuff.
Yep. Just making sure it keeps going, and
They're on and off, which
they
isn't
really
a bad
wanted
thing.
a piece of that forefoot for sure.
They're easing up now.
And the weight is pretty good. It looks like she's going to get a
Very nicely
piece of
done.
the forest. Yep.
Well.
Wonderful. Good shot. Good pressure shot.
It really was. It
Yeah.
was,
The time was
facing 3 this late in the game. That could have been the game over.
Exactly.
Just down.
The ice is still consistent at 15 seconds of that draw. So
Yeah, and the teams were giving themselves high fives. I think
exactly. Yeah.
both can
Exactly.
say they accomplished what they wanted to accomplish. Sarah
Yeah.
got out of a jam, and
Exactly.
Sylvie was able to steal her 1.
Yep.
So after 9 ends, it's Robichaud 6 and Mallais 5. 1 end remaining. Mallais will have hammer. This is the 2018 New Brunswick Scotties Tournament of Hearts being held here in Moncton, New Brunswick, hosted by Curl Moncton with the help of Curling New Brunswick and TV1. We want to thank TV1 for their great support here for live streaming all week, and they were actually showing live on their Community One network today.
Whoops. Sorry, buddy.
I've got 2 ears, that's okay. All right, so Sylvie is asking Kendra to come into the forefoot.
Exactly. Yeah. Seeing what she wants to see what Sarah wants to do. Either make a game of it, go to the corner, or the draw looks like it's very nice.
That's very nice weight.
Absolutely.
Top forefoot, button, I guess.
Button. And I think they're going for a corner guard.
Yep.
Jane Boyle throwing the first stone.
Release is good, and they're
Exactly.
just seeming to be cleaning it. Sarah would like that just above the Scotties sign there, off to the right-hand side as we look at it. And very nicely done.
Absolutely. Good corner.
Well, Mickey, we have had some movement on which we expected. Robichaud is now, as a team, curling 76%, with the Melissa Adams at 83%. And Sarah, they're inching up at 72% with Jane Boyle at Jane Boyle and Carol Whitaker curling 78%.
So they're really bringing her game up.
Yep. So Kendra's being asked to return
another tight guard.
Seems to be they've
Not quite the finish they were
No,
looking for, but still a guard.
So I imagine Sarah will now make a play on the one in the house.
Exactly, yeah. get a nice little flop here, and she's asking for bump weight, I believe.
Yeah, they were hitting their. They returned their signals, so
Exactly.
I think they both know what they're looking for.
So Jane will attempt to bump that out and maybe get a little flop to the behind that blue guard.
Sarah's got them
Starting to get
sweeping,
moving
and
on it now, and weight looks pretty good.
very nicely done. She's got a bit
nice
of a
little flop.
very nice.
Beautiful shot.
It isn't quite out over here, but I think Sylvie's indicating and asking Nicole, can she see much of that? And Mickey, if should there be an extra end, it would be 4 minutes and 30 seconds, with each team being able to have a timeout. As it stands right now, I think we've only used one timeout for the Robichaud
Sylvie,
team.
Sylvie used the timeout, and
okay, they're holding off on this one, and
yeah, exactly.
there's that run, but her weight is good. She's going to come back. It's starting to move now. Yep.
Get the roll to the outside.
Any heavier, and that would have stayed right
exactly,
there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. So
nice,
well
nice
done.
Control throw.
Yep. Now, Mickey, do we come around?
Or open the front? I think she wants to score her 2, so you have to be in the house to do that. So
being on the aggressive side.
Yeah, exactly.
Asking Leah to bring it in and hopefully hide behind the opponent's guard.
Exactly, and hope for a miss from the Robichaud team and make it count. So
they're just keeping it clean. They're waiting for some movement, which they'll get here any time. They're clear of the guard, so might be
quite a bit.
Might be a tad heavy. Don't know that they need to be brushing that quite that much, but
yeah, I got 14.8 on it, and that's back 8.
Yeah. So opportunity for Robichaud to place one in front of that, tight preferably. Put the pressure on Mallais.
Now Robichaud's goal now is to steal one.
So Nicole being asked to freeze one on the shot rock. This is the last of her second stone rocks here in the 10th end.
The sweepers are. It's a good sign. The sweepers, yes, no, and looks.
Might be bumping a bit, but that's still a very nice shot. Yep.
Yeah, nice freeze right to it.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yeah, beautiful.
Wow.
Certainly, wow.
For someone that's not feeling very well, she's
having a pretty good game. Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
So Leah has been asked to do the same thing. Again, behind the tee line.
Follow her in. So.
Yep.
And Leah just shot that stone, and they didn't sweep it too much, so she should know what.
So they're sweeping at it now for weight. That's their responsibility. Is judge the weight of the rock and.
Seems to be coming in nice.
It's it's coming down very nice and good
very
judging.
Nicely done.
Good,
very nicely
sweet
done.
Judging and.
2 great shots.
Absolutely.
2 great shots. Look at that. Mickey, I don't know if the viewers have noticed, but along the right-hand side, as you go away from the head house, there are 2 stones sitting on the next sheet of ice,
Right,
and that has a temperature monitor on it. And every once in a while, you'll see one of the ice technicians come in and verify that ice versus what they've got on the computer inside.
Yeah, it's all
and it's being well monitored.
Exactly, and they're monitoring the ice temperature to keep it very consistent, as it has been all week. And I know Chris, the new computer programs and that we have now, Chris was very happy with it and very nice.
So they've
a
gotten
little bit of panic there, but
she's just a little heavier, Mickey, and we're going to get a bit of a bump, and she's going to roll to the open side. So opportunity missed there. So now for Carol Whitaker, Sarah's going to be asking her to
definitely.
flop. Would you want to flop right away, Mickey, or just be happy with taking that out and make a play on it?
Yeah.
You know, well,
Yeah, but
opportunity.
yeah. Why make it easy for them? Flop it over, and it can't be taken out. So they're going to discuss it anyways. A little flop to freeze on that yellow, right where she's indicating.
But you're still giving you're still giving the button a possibility.
Exactly. The button may be almost a pin. It's a very tight button. It's about half of the button maybe, but
Well, it looks like it's a team decision. Jane
exactly, and
Leah and
like,
Carol, who's
yeah.
being asked to throw the stone, all came down and had the discussion.
she's throwing it, and yeah, that's what they're. I think they're deciding is to have that little flop
bit
over
of a
to
flop.
the right. Right
And
in front of
Mickey,
the
if that were to hit and stay, I wouldn't think that it would be the end of. However, hitting and staying, you're going to leave the opportunity for
exactly.
Sylvie to hit and flop.
Well, if hit and flop, I wouldn't bring her to number one. Maybe put her in a good position, but I don't think Sylvie's shot, if they would nose this one, I don't think Sylvie's shot would be number one.
After she removes it?
Exactly, if they nose this one, it's going to, the yellow rock's going to be a little higher up.
And then, and the one on the tee line. Okay.
So,
here we go. So this is Carol Whitaker's, the first of her two rocks.
They're sweeping it right away,
And the sweepers are holding the line
curl
on this.
Getting
Getting some curl now.
So got more than a flop, and
So
again, the weight choice.
little more ice and a little less weight, perhaps.
The way I'm thinking, anyways, and it gives an opportunity for Sylvie right now.
You need it to be to stay in the 4 foot, huh?
Oh yes, yes for sure.
All right. So this is the second of Melissa Adams' rocks here in the 10th end. Being asked to draw to the shot rock sitting in the back quarter of the 4 foot.
So they've done it a few times, so sweepers are going right at it. They're judging the weight of it, so.
Well, this is one
wants to jump in there, and Nicole doesn't want to leave her in. She says, I can do it. And it looks very, very good, and they can keep it going. A very good shot.
Very nicely done.
Very all swept. And
this is that shot that's had Sarah in a little bit of trouble all game.
Exactly.
When
I think it would be their
Sylvie's
advantage
team has been able to freeze.
Take advantage of that.
It's very difficult to take out. So
here, I think you want to bump it, because that anything behind the tee line is not helping you at all if you're Sarah, and you want to kind of bump and shake them up a little bit.
Unfortunately, I think that's what they were thinking, but
it's all about weight, and
this seems to be streamlining a little bit.
Exactly. I think she was asking for bump weight, but
just a little overthrown. That's hack weight or better. Yep. Missed opportunity, but we'll see.
So we're looking at Sylvia's first rock, and they're looking at a guard.
Anywhere in the center line would be great.
To the left of the center line, as we see it here, and it kind of tightens the draw around. So we're still in the 4 minutes for Sylvie, and 6 minutes and 3 seconds for Mallais. So there's lots of time to throw 4 rocks.
All right, the first of Sylvie Robichaud's rocks here in the 10th end, and attempting to place what we're saying is a centerline guard in the house to really minimize the 4 foot opportunity for Team Mallais.
She's really trying to close that draw to the button with this guard, and
She's asking for a little less
a
ice.
little less. Yeah, I think she remembers it doesn't really curl that well, and of course she's throwing a guard, which would be a little less weight. And
Yeah, Melissa's came in there pretty nice, Mickey. So,
yeah,
all right.
we'll see what the results are. The sweepers are kind of like keeping it clean and going at it now. I think it's going to be too long of a guard. And,
All right.
a little late and over curled, of course, and that
Yes,
shot
with
is
that,
there.
with that weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sarah has an opportunity here to stick one.
Exactly.
She has to make sure that she takes enough ice, Mickey, because
No,
the last thing you want to do is be racking on that blue. She has to be in the 4-foot.
Right.
Maybe not shot rock, but she has to be in the 4-foot.
Well, I think you'd want to be shot rock right now. Freezing right to that blue, it would make Sylvie's shot
That much more difficult.
very, very difficult.
Okay. All right, the first of Sarah Mallais' rocks here in the 10th end of the 2018 Scotties Tournament of Hearts being held here at Curl Moncton in Moncton, New Brunswick. Attempting a freeze on the button.
She's been pretty good with her draws. We'll see how this works out.
I think they like the line. The sweepers are they're pounding it pretty good. Coming off now.
Yep.
You want it to finish.
Yeah, exactly. And you want it to be there. A little light.
Yeah, a little light as well.
So, where do you put the guard? Timeout is called by Robichaud. That's her last timeout, so good time to use it. She still has 3 minutes left to make the shot. I certainly would move that yellow, but I'd go around like Kendra says, or
So you like coming around?
it's what you prefer. Coming around would cut the draw to the button. So I think they're going for a long guard.
I think so, and they're just discussing the ice now. Melissa was indicating where she was for Sylvie's first rock that
Exactly.
curled a bunch.
And
So now,
by coming around also and sitting on the top 8, you'd take away that bump. And right now, if you're too far over on the bump could be there, but on the 4-foot line.
on the 4-foot line, and what, 8-foot? Or even 12
well,
foot?
I think they were talking about a guard, so
So outside of the rings?
yeah, I'd come in, but the cardinal sin would be to be long, so
Okay, the last
goodness,
of
it'd be,
Sylvie Robichaud's rocks here in the 10th end, attempting to place a guard. We're not sure exactly where she would want it. It seems to me you'd want to be taking away that raise as well.
looks like a lot of weight, really. Last thing you want to be is long, but the sweepers are keeping it clean, so if she can block
I think her weight's pretty good.
block the draw to the 4-foot to the button.
This is curling on her as well.
Exactly, and take away that bump. So the draw to the button now, it's actually the guard, I think she wanted it further out. And timeout called by Mallais team. She had good weight, just a little too far to the center.
What are our options?
Well, draw.
The draw,
Draw is,
with where that yellow one is, Mickey, I'm not sure that we can get to the. Do you think we can get to the button?
I think you can.
You don't
I think you can.
And
there's the raise, of course.
the run back is an
Yeah.
option.
if she can do this, it's a possible 2 here.
Yes, because she's going to get a jam on hers, and hopefully the
Exactly,
shooter will stay.
and this one here would stick. She'd have to hit it right then on, so she get that movement of the blue again. You have to hit that blue one very hard to get it out.
She's got the bump yellow, the blue yellow onto the button, which
Exactly,
is not easy. Neither of these shots are easy at this point.
None, no. Even a draw to the button.
Right, and I really, if even the yellow one wasn't where it was, I tend to agree that it
Yeah.
could come in, but I think it would catch it.
Exactly.
So we're playing a raised takeout with
This-
the last rock for Sarah Mallais here in the 10th end.
I think we're going to have a little bit of speed to this. Mainly because you got to hit that blue very, very hard to get
And
it out.
the blue has to leave the forefoot.
Exactly,
so
yeah.
It's got to go sideways.
Yeah.
And all right, last rock of potentially the last rock of the 2018 Scotties Tournament of Hearts.
It seemed like the whole team was agreeable for that. And we'll tell. It looks
No,
a
I
little
think it's
inside.
on the side, yeah.
Who knows? But we'll see what.
So our 2018 champion of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts is the Sylvie Robichaud rink of Melissa Adams, Nicole Arsenault Bishop, and Kendra Lister. Congratulations, girls.
Congratulations to the girls, and congratulations to the Mallais team for bringing it to a real good final.
Correct. And our closing ceremonies will be taking place momentarily. Coach Ellery Robichaud, very happy.
It'll be Sylvie's fourth.
Yep, it'll be our fourth. Yeah.
Scotties Nationals.
So they're off to South Okanagan Event Center in Penticton, BC,
Yes.
January 27th to February 4th. Good luck, girls. And Mickey, it's been a pleasure. We thank TV1 and all your helpers, and of course all our volunteers for a great event that we've had here this year at Curl Moncton.
It's been wonderful, and thank you very much.
We're signing off, and enjoy. Thanks very much, folks.
Thank you, Harold.
I'm going to put those back in the book, and I want to give the book to Greg downstairs. Good job, guys. Thanks very much. Awesome, guys. That'll work. Carmen, great to have you back. Winnick, thank you. Mike, what?
That's what the mic's off, because it gets a reflection in the mirror. Yeah. Thank you, Carmen.
We'll take it from here. Okay. We're going to put another piece of carpeting because some of the ladies. Chris has got one.
Chris, I get it. I wanted to leave that one there.
Yeah. Maybe put another one on that. We're stepping on it. Just pull it a bit up there, stepping off of the boards on that.